What's up?
Yay.
What's up?
What up?
What up?
Hey. We
Hey, wasn't that Super Bowl crazy?
Yeah.
How crazy was the game?
Man, do you remember when that thing happened?
Bruh, and I'm like, Tom. And then golf was like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But we all called it and we knew who won and that's why they won.
Yeah, and we all saw it coming, right? Fans of the winning team? Right.
God, dude. That's what I like about this podcast. First is that we're always current and up to date. And secondly is that we also talk about movies. So
yes, it's true.
before we get more into the Super Bowl and the obvious winner,
Yes.
Hassan, who got MVP. Way to play, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
For real.
Best games I've ever seen.
Remember when that beer company did that commercial?
Yo, I mean,
Yeah.
the horse.
I'm a horse or whatever.
No, that was funny. But first,
Before
we get into the movie that you guys came for, Super Bowl weekend, Super Bowl time. Hassan, let's talk about another sports movie. Before we get,
murder mystery.
Tell me about Cars 3, buddy. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did watch it. I did watch it.
He did as part of the podcast.
One day I should not watch it.
And we stop.
Make this a real awkward silence for 10 minutes.
I'm glad that's not today.
I watched Cars 3.
What did you think of the sports tale?
When you said it wasn't a bad movie, I watched it. I was like, yeah, this wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah.
It
wasn't bad, which is what I thought it would be.
It's my only basis for the Cars universe.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah. Which there's just certain things in the movie because it's the first movie I watched and you just have to get used to. That I was just like, whoa.
Like what?
Like how big the doors are in the world.
Every door. Because they're cars.
Every door. I was like, wow, that's a big door.
Every door is ridiculous, not made for people.
Yeah.
Every door is also a garage.
Yeah, pretty much. But like a lot of them are like automatic.
Yeah.
They have to be, or like they push it open.
They push with their fucking. They nudge it open.
They nudge. What a ridiculous world. Just like you were right about like it was what was ridiculous about it was the backgrounds were hyper realistic. And these cars were just so cartoony.
That's what made the animation like, whoa, the contrast is crazy.
Yeah, it really felt off-center for a while.
Yeah.
There was one part that I thought the animation and the realistic style really came together. It's going to be, remember, I forgot what part of the movie it is, but there's some sort of restaurant or whatever, and there's a band playing. At the club.
Yeah.
He's at the bar talking to the old guys.
Yeah.
There's a band playing, and for some reason, there's this 30-second clip of a car band playing with no context. And the animation looks real good because the cars are doing ridiculous things.
Yeah.
So it fits.
You didn't like the animation?
No. I did like the animation. I thought the animation was good. I just thought it was mismatched.
Okay. Why?
I
thought it was like some of the best animation I've ever seen because it was so intense. Like the car crash.
The car crash was nuts.
That's what I'm saying. Like, whoa.
But they made the car look more realistic during the car crash than the actual movie where it was the cartoon eyes and they avoided the eyes in that situation.
Yeah.
Because the eyes really made him look.
No, they made him a car in that situation.
Yeah, they made him a car. You know what I mean? So that was hyper realistic.
Yeah.
And I'm saying even the animation with the cars was good. I'm just saying I wish they did more ridiculous things. Like
what?
Playing in a band. Like them play with the cars playing in the band was really funny.
Yeah. So you wish they did more ridiculous things in Cars 3.
Fair. I will say that. That is fair. But either way, I really liked the old car who hosted the show that was holding on to his victory over McQueen. You know, he said he beat McQueen once. The guy who hosted the show that doesn't like him.
From the first movie.
Yeah, okay.
I said that. I did say this. Yeah.
Okay, so that's fair. You know what that reminded me of? I don't know if you remember this, but one day we were driving somewhere on a Sunday. I think it was to like Las Vegas or whatever, and we were listening to like the NFL sports radio. And one of the guys kept mentioning how he was a Super Bowl champion. Like all his promos would be like, "And Super Bowl champion," whatever his name was, and that's what he reminded me of. It's just like, yeah, we get it. You won your thing, but just talk now.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, it's over. You don't have to keep reminding us.
Also, we know.
Yeah.
It says Super Bowl champion under your thing, under your tag.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. So it almost made me cry that one time. I think I told you about it, but you never heard of Car Talk before.
No.
No, the radio show, which is I mean, it's a show on NPR every week.
Tell
Hilarious.
the listener.
It's what's it called? There'd be two brothers, and they would give car advice to like people. People would call in, but most of the show was them just kind of shitting on the people, and one of them like copy the person's accent or whatever. Because whoever they screen, they'd pick like really good people to talk to, you know. And it was just really funny. I remember listening to that every year. I just remember listening to that constantly growing up.
Yeah.
Like it was always on every Saturday in my dad's car, right? Wherever we would drive. And the guys who play the rest of these guys are those guys.
That's awesome.
One of them is one of the brothers died in between the Cars movies. But so
he's in the first one.
He's in the first two.
He's in the first two.
He's in the first two. And the when I noticed it is when I was like the brother who died, there was some guy imitating his voice.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, this is a really bad imitation of the car talk guy.
Uh-huh.
That's what this first thing that popped in my head. And then the other brother talking, it was his distinctive laugh that I've heard growing up, and I was like, oh shit, these are the car talk guys. And they ended they'd end every show with "Don't drive like my brother. Do me a favor, don't drive like my brother."
Oh yeah, they've been saying that since the first movie.
Yeah. That's their line. And when that happened, I had to pause the movie. I'd be like, oh fuck, it brought me back to like a place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a really like it gave me a deep connection with this movie.
Yeah.
I was like super, super invested after that. I had no idea these guys were in this. Yeah, so it almost made me cry.
And that's in the beginning of the movie.
It's in the beginning of the movie.
So the rest of the movie, you're in the movie.
I was in the movie.
So reviews and whatever the fuck and all the bullshit. How did you like how did you feel watching the movie?
I liked it.
You really like? Did you really like it?
I liked it. I was like, I like the derby scene. I like the figure eight where that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
With the school bus.
Yeah.
I thought the school bus was funny. Bro.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was fun.
I really liked it. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Take
everything else out of it. Take Cars 1. If I'm not even thinking about Cars 1 or Cars 2, I just said this movie by itself. It's pretty good. Goddamn, it's pretty okay, bro.
I thought the storyline they picked of an old guy trying to cling on to his youth. That's a very Pixar storyline.
Yo,
that's a very good.
Very good.
It's a simple storyline that we all sort of know. You know, that's what when Pixar is at its best, they pick the storyline itself is pretty simple.
And such a different storyline than the first two movies. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So that's why also it's just like a curveball because it's just like, wait, what is going on in Cars 3?
It's like a really human movie.
Yeah. Like, whoa, I thought this was where's the fucking goofy Southern truck? You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
what's going on?
That was the one thing that was like, it made it evident that what's it called? That this was way different than the first two. Besides you telling me, it's just like, okay, whenever they talk to the friends back at Radiator Springs, it was a little bit mismatched. It was a little bit out of place because you could tell that was like they're trying to be sillier, but this movie was not silly.
They were trying to be silly, and they were still trying to connect the old characters. And it was like, hey man, this movie just let it.
This movie didn't need Mater.
It didn't need any of the old. It was disconnected from his girlfriend, from Mater, from everybody.
His girlfriend didn't seem like his girlfriend.
It's just because they're so. But this is the thing. The franchise is built. Because it's still this movie's good. It's not the first movie. The first movie's the best. Mm-hmm. And the first movie is the reason. So I get that they're like, oh, we gotta have them in it. And we gotta pay them, and we gotta, you know what I mean? Like for I'm on the business side, not the movie side. Not the art. They didn't need it. Mm-hmm. They didn't need it. Like you said, did not need it.
Yeah.
Business side, they were like, I'm sure they were like, oh, we have to.
Yeah.
If they built the franchise.
Yeah, that's true. I would, and it's just licensing and like you just want
exactly.
You want to make money.
How many more Mater trucks can we sell?
You could push more merch. Yeah, that's because this. You know what? I haven't seen the Cars, but there really is probably no reason for Toy Story 4 except that you can sell those things again.
Yeah, well, they wrapped it up.
Everyone thought Toy Story 3 was like. I remember before Toy Story 3 came out, I was like, they're making a third one? Do they really need one? And I watched Toy Story 3 and I was like, oh, I'm so glad they made it. What?
It's how I felt. Yep.
Yeah. And it just it completed the story.
Beautiful.
And then it's like, oh, where are they going?
Where are they going? Another one. And you hope for the best. But I mean, these sequels, bro. These sequels, bro.
The preview was funny.
Preview was funny, but man, yeah, and I mean, it's pretty. But I feel like we talked about this before, and I'm gonna keep standing on this, and I know we're gonna talk about it again, nigga. Write another movie.
Yeah, this could have been Pixar could have straight up made this movie with people.
Whatever Toy Story 4 is going to be.
Or like.
Just write another one.
Yeah. You could just use that story. This could have been a storyline for so many different movies.
You're right. You could have wrote an original movie with different things.
Yeah. This could have been robots or
this could have
bats.
been microphones
Yeah,
that have bats. You're right. It could have been goddamn
It could have been anything. Bats playing baseball.
tripod stands. I'm just naming stuff in the room.
Yeah.
Nigga, it could have been curtains. It could have been a picture of my mom.
Will Smith.
Yeah, concussion poster of Will Smith. It could have been a lot of things.
Yeah.
Actually, it could have been Will Smith concussion. It could have just been Will Smith.
Could have been. Why are we remaking that? That's the one we all want.
But it's just, bro, that's my only problem with everything, bro. It's just like, damn, my nigga, write another movie. There's so many others. Just write another movie, man. God damn.
Yeah.
You know how many good movies came out when they wrote another movie? You got shit like Ferris Bueller and fucking Terminator, nigga. And you know what I mean? Just,
I will say this in terms of like Pixar movies. Like this could have been a class like that. This storyline could have been a classic all on its own. I mean, yeah, you'd have to work it a little bit.
You have to figure out what it needs to be. And yeah, you're right.
What it needs to be and like what it's like when the characters aren't cars. But
yeah, the universe. You're right. You gotta figure.
Yeah,
do some writing.
Normal sized doors in this universe, maybe.
Yeah.
But it could have been. And like now, it's just I feel like, oh man, it sucks that they use that on Cars 3.
It's just a good Cars 3. Is that exactly? You never heard me be like, oh, you guys, it's a classic. I just watched it going, oh, fuck, this is really good.
Yes.
All right. But you're right.
It's not gonna crack my favorite Pixar movies.
But if this had been on some Ratatouille shit,
yeah, because
it's a classic. Ratatouille's a classic. It's independent. Write another movie.
Is Cars its only sports movie?
What do you mean?
Pixar is Cars their only sports movies? If you could even call them sports movies.
Well, I don't even know because I mean, yeah, they're sports movies though. They are. So I'd say.
I think Pixar has no more sports movies. No other sports movies.
Like about an actual sport, because this is about NASCAR.
It's actually about the sport.
NASCAR sports.
I don't know about the first two, but like this is like stuff like Next Generation Stats.
Yeah. Oh,
and,
dude.
like,
I mean, it's
like,
all about racing.
Sports.
He's trying to make a comeback. Nigga. I mean, the whole thing.
Some guy trying to like brand him after his career.
Yep.
And I think you could have just done more with the storylines if they weren't Cars.
That's a good question on the because now you got me thinking about has Pixar done what's another sports? What's the last sports Disney movie? Just kids movie period. Sports besides this one. This one clearly. Like what's the last like even Mighty Ducks? You know what I mean? Like even person. Like it can be human beings.
Well, it seems like there's not a lot of just animated sports movies, are there? That doesn't seem like something you would animate because you could just do it.
Yeah, I guess that's probably why. I mean, yeah, because Cars. I mean, damn, they did it. I mean, it's pretty good though. If you haven't seen it, guys, still watch it. I would suggest that.
Yeah, but I don't think. Yeah, Disney hasn't made a sports movies, but I don't think they're just animated sports movies in general.
Yeah.
I mean, even for Cars, they had to make the actual people cars.
Yeah, they did.
You know what I mean? To justify that, because you could just make it with people, probably. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know how much things cost and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we're probably like way over it. But
yeah,
I know this. Write another movie. Just write another movie, man. Just write a different fucking movie, dog.
And that's Cars 3.
Beaners. Derek's excited. Asani, you excited?
I am excited.
Yo. Guys, I mean, you know what you came for this episode. This episode means a lot to me. I've been holding on to this episode for a long time. This episode is literally my childhood. Hassan?
Yes.
Real quick, before we even get into it, just real fast, can you tell me what you think might go down in the classic motion picture Friday Night Lights?
Huh. We're finally doing it. We're doing it. You talk about this movie a lot. And okay.
My favorite movie of all time. I say it all the time. This one I mean. I only mean it like 4 out of 4. Dark Knight, this. You know what I mean? It's up there. I said Dark Knight.
All right. So the Joker. No.
The Joker is a sophomore.
The Joker is the coach of this high school football team.
And him and his wife are having morning breakfast, talking about just like a real. You know what I mean? Like it starts. It makes sense. Tell me what happens in Friday Night Lights, buddy.
You
Go
know
ahead.
what? Friday Night Lights is the story of a high school football team in in the South, Texas, maybe, and it's a story of just this whole this team throughout the year, and there's like a couple main characters that they focus on.
Okay.
The big one is the coach. He's trying to.
You know who the coach is?
No, I don't know.
Can you tell me
I don't
actors?
know who anyone acting in.
Oh,
This.
throw me. You know me. I love it. Throw me some. Just give me some faces so I can see your movie. Who's your
Okay.
coach?
Let me describe the movie, and I'll tell you while I describe it that I can.
You'll eventually give me your coach. Okay,
Yeah,
you know me.
I
I'm just like eventually give me your face. Just give me your
Yeah, yeah.
actor. 'Cause I just want to know.
Okay.
So you got your coach.
So the coach is he's facing a lot of pressure from up top. You know, like the boosters and all that sort of stuff.
Has he been there a while? Or is he a new coach?
He's on the hot seat.
So he's been there a while.
He's been there a minute.
Oh, okay. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
scary.
like- it's
Ooh,
like
that's
a-
scary. That is
yeah.
scary as a coach, bro.
It's like a make or
So you've been there a minute. He's not winning.
he's been up and down, but like this is the year if he doesn't put it together,
The boosters are done.
The boosters are done.
Okay.
But he has the talent.
Okay.
He has the things around him. You know, you follow maybe like the star quarterback.
Okay.
You know what? He's not a star quarterback. You have a young quarterback, maybe sophomore.
Ooh, I like you switching it. Go ahead on it. Go ahead, Baba. So I like, bro. Come on.
No, you know what? No, it's a junior. This guy has ridden the.
But he's young. He's young. This is his first
ridden
year
the
starting.
bench. The star quarterback graduated.
So this is his first year.
This is his first year.
Love
He has
it.
a chance to prove himself.
Okay.
There's like a star, maybe defensive end or wide receiver.
Uh-huh.
He's like an NFL talent, and his story is he's the guy who gets injured and he can't play football no more. And he gets it, but he
You said the star receiver?
receiver or DB.
Yeah. It gets injured.
Yeah,
Oof.
gets injured, and that's the coach.
This is their big time guy.
This is their big time guy.
Okay.
And his injury, it seems like it's doomed, but the team rallies. And they're able to pull off. They make it to whatever playoffs they're in. They get out. They get knocked out first round, but they made it to the playoffs. So
Uh-huh.
the coach gets to keep his job. And so the actor that I'm envisioning in my head, I don't know who this person would be, but like maybe not him. But who's the guy? Who's the guy again in what's his name? Tommy Lee Jones,
Yeah.
but like younger.
Oh.
No, like that same age range type. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
maybe he looks a little bit like he's like a little serious,
Yeah.
maybe jowly, a little bit, maybe some
Okay.
jowls.
Any
going
young
on.
stars in this? You think or no?
I'm sure.
This movie came out in the mid 2004, 2003.
I can't even picture. Everyone's in it is just white in it from what I remember.
Okay.
You know, it's probably not the case because it's a football team. But and
Just like Cars 3.
and it's a good one. So there's no way it's all white. It's just revives and it just shows how heavy high school football, how important it is in this world.
Yeah.
It's one of those worlds where you really get to see like this is the world.
So it's more about the world than even the sports, is what you're saying.
It's everything has to do with the sport, but it's
But the
more
movement,
about
the move, yeah.
everything. Everyone cares about it. You know, you probably have them go. You know, people buy them alcohol and shit. You know, just because they're the star. You know what I mean? There's probably good party scenes, couple good party scenes. You know, people know them around town. This Friday Night Lights. That's what That's what matters.
Yeah.
That's the event that everyone from the town comes to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably a lot of like housewife gossip and drama in there.
Ooh, you excited?
Who's cheating on who?
Ooh, son.
Yeah.
Hassan, for any new beaners,
Yeah.
okay? Hassan, maybe he hasn't seen a lot of movies. You're like, oh, this guy hasn't seen a lot of movies. Hassan loves sports. Hassan loves sports. Hassan knows sports. So that's why I'm very excited about this movie. Because, well, guys, if this episode goes a while, that's football, baby. All right? Deal with football for a little bit, okay? Because that's what's going to happen, all right? Because I know he loves it. I love it. I'm excited. You excited?
I'm excited.
But spoil some fucking beans. Movie starts with low dramatic music, right? Like a low guitar. Right? This is the theme of the whole movie. This music plays throughout the entire film, okay? Following is based on a true story that happened in West Texas, 1988.
Oh.
This movie is based on a book. The book is amazing. All right.
Does the movie take place in 1988?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see pictures, you see clouds, and then you see just plain Texas, just plain desert. You know what I mean? Just that look
Yeah.
of Texas, right? Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
All right. We hear a guy on a radio slowly coming up as this camera's just panning over, Texas, right? And we just hear a guy on the radio. And he's like, football time in Texas. And he's talking to the fans, right? And he's going, we going to have a hell of a season, boys. Winchell's going to take us all the way this year. And then it cuts to a guy's house, right? And then you see Winchell, it's like a big board, like Mojo Tigers, went in white. And then this guy Winchell, number 20, right? And we see an old mom, and it's early in the morning, nigga. Early, all right? And this old mom is going over the playbook with her son. Okay? They're intense. All right, Iraq stack, what are you going to do? You got 2 left on the win, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, 2 left, I'm going to call audible, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And then she stops him in the middle of it. She goes, you going to get a scholarship this year? He looks up, yes, mama. And then she keeps going. All right, Iraq twins, right? And then cut, right? So, yeah, just dude.
Yeah, oh, we're in it.
We're there, baby. All right. We see our stud running back, headphones in, all right? And he's running just down the street, shirt off, fucking shredded. It's our star. It's Boobie Miles. This actor you'd recognize.
Okay.
All right. It's he's in so much. He's you seen Glory Road? He's a star basketball player in that
No,
movie.
I haven't seen Glory Road. I've seen my Glory.
You've seen
I've seen Glory.
That's great.
Yeah.
He's in a movie with Denzel. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's a great movie. Fuck.
All right.
They're both in the military?
Just gonna go off and say I haven't seen this movie.
Yeah. But he's when you see him, you're like, oh, that guy. He's been in so many movies, all right?
All right.
And as he's running, all right, you hear the radio talk. The radio guy now, he's talking about how much coach got paid this year, And then the guy on the radio is like, well, he's like, man, I heard the football the head coach, he got paid more than the principal. And then the guy goes, well, hell, he starts talking about how some baseball coaches was paid more than the president back in the day. And when they asked the coach about it, they were, well, shit, can the president hit a baseball?
Yeah.
Like he was just like, and so and then he goes on about how great this coach is and how he deserves all this money and blah blah blah. He's just a champion. What?
It's crazy that people used to go this wild. Like this used to be baseball. Like baseball used to be the shit.
Was it.
Yeah.
That was it, bro.
That's wild.
Sports are crazy, man.
Sports are pretty crazy.
Sports are fucking crazy, dude. Like UFC's a new thing. You know what I mean?
UFC.
Dude, I'm into UFC now more than football. I'm really getting
UFC's coming like it's coming for the top.
It's coming, bro.
Yeah, that's how UFC feels.
That sport is awesome. I mean, and you know what? And you know what makes it so great? The women's side is just damn near as good as the men's, bro. And no other sport got that. You know what I mean? No other sport's even close, other than like Olympic shit.
Yeah, Olympics, but that's only once every 4 years.
That's once every 4 years. Yeah. UFC's nonstop, baby. Man, Nunez is a bad bitch. All right. Anyway, so the going on about how great the coach is, right? And then we see kids running behind, bro. Kids are. This is all true, dog. Are running behind the Boobie Miles dude as he's running to practice, bro. Just headphones and determination, and they all have his jersey on. They're all right, like Rocky, nigga. Riding bikes, running, Boobie. He's just. You know what I mean? All right. So we see the mom working. It comes back to the mom working with the son, and he messes something up. Mm-hmm. And she gets mad. She goes, "Are you ready for this, Mike?" And then he looks, and the music gets intense as fuck, bro. And then it cuts to the stadium, and we see this beautiful, gigantic high school Texas 5A top. That's all top. Right. That's high as it go right there. You know what I mean? Football stadium, bro. All right, humongous. August 6th, 1988 preseason, day one. All right.
And the stadium is packed.
Huh?
Is the stadium packed for preseason?
No. This is practice.
Oh, practice.
Preseason practice.
Okay.
All right. Just preseason practice day one. All right.
Okay.
We see another one of the guys in the movie, right? This big black dude, big DN, huge motherfucker, just quiet stone face. He's leaning on his car right outside the stadium. And then we see like all the cars are flying in, right, of all these other players, like shit like that. And then we see Boobie running in. Now, I'm gonna stop right here just because it's like, yo, bro, you want to talk about greatness? That's greatness. All right? I don't know if you heard me. I said everyone else driving in.
Yeah.
They're about to have practice, 2 a days, preseason, 2 a days. He ran it.
What are 2-a-days? You gotta explain what 2-a-days are.
I'll explain it to you. Do you know what they are?
There's 2 practices a day.
Yes. So, and that's preseason practices, 2-a-days. So that your first 2 weeks when you come back, you're supposed to have been like, it's kind of like you're off period, but you've always been coming in and working out. Like they still have practice where you have to come in and working out called conditioning practice, right?
Right.
And then finally, when you're allowed to officially get in pads, like when there's always like there's legal, like when you're legally allowed to get in pads and suit up, you do 2-a-day practices at first because you want to catch up for all that time you missed where you were just doing conditioning.
Okay.
And then they also condition the shit out of you now to get you ready to be in pads. So that's why 2-a-days are hell. They're the hardest. It's the hardest part of any football player's life because it's 2-a-days. It's just 2 practices a day, full practices, bro.
So what goes on in a practice? Well, you're about to get into that, aren't you? Well.
What goes on in 2 hours of practice? Everything.
Each practice is how long? 2 hours?
About 2 hours, 2.5 hours probably.
Okay.
Practice. And that's if you did, and that's if you're not getting ran to death because you didn't have a good practice. You know what I mean, dog?
Yeah.
We're talking about high football, intense. So.
And this is during the heat too.
Ooh, baby. So, but just greatness. Ran in. They drove. These are great players. These are other guys who are top flight athletes.
That's how you set yourself apart. You work even harder than the people who work hard.
All right, I just want to so y'all see what kind of dude we talking about, bro. These are that kind of motherfucker, right? So when Booby runs up, everybody's like, he's like, yo, what up, Ivory? To the big black guy who's leaning on his car. They dap up, and he says what's up to everybody else. The Mike Winchell guy, the quarterback. You see this other guy who's an actor who you'll recognize. He's been in a lot of stuff. He had a good run, too, where he was like in the leads of stuff, too. He was like in this lead movie with Nicolas Cage where they were like sorcerers and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I forgot his name. He's in this. And then you see another Mexican guy who plays a Mexican cop in so much shit. And he's like in this, right?
Okay.
And then they're all walking up together, right? And I love this shot. So Booby's walking up to each one of them and he's going, state, 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 state. And then they turn and then they all start walking slow-mo into the motherfucking building, dog. And they're just fucking first day of practice. State. They're not fucking around. They didn't say playoffs. They didn't state.
Okay.
This is that kind of team.
Okay.
State
That's
or
even higher stakes than my guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we said. But we talking about either you won state or you failed. Okay. So if, they're getting ready for practice now, right? You hear the music, like rap music blasting. It's fucking like Public Enemy and shit, right? And then Booby's getting ready, and he's putting this Terminator. I always loved this, man. I always wanted one of these. He had a Terminator X towel. So he has a towel that he put in his front that just had Terminator X on it with number 45, all right? Because that's his number, right? And so they're all getting ready, and he goes, Waterbug, you got a girl? And then we pan over to this other guy, and this younger, smaller, skinnier guy, right? And this young black guy, and he looks up, and he goes, no. And he goes, what? Man, you ain't got no girl? He goes, and Waterbug doesn't say anything. He goes, man, you want to know why you ain't got no girl? It's the Booby Miles guy. He goes, why? Because you got on white Adidas. And he looks down at his feet, and he has on white Adidas. He goes, everybody knows the shoe is Nikes. And he puts on his black Nikes on the motherfucking thing, right? And everybody looks at him. He goes, man, ask Preacher Man. Ask Ivory. He know what's up. And then it cuts to the Preacher Man is the Ivory guy, right? The big black D. And I was talking about Stoneface. And he goes, man, shoes don't matter. Booby goes, bullshit. Man, God made black beautiful. God made Booby beautiful. Black and strong. And then one of the other running backs, right? This guy named Billingsley, one of the other leads in the movie, right? He leans over and he goes, the white guy who looks like the actor. Anyway, he leans over and he goes, man, his mouth keeps getting fucking bigger and bigger and bigger every year. And then you hear it cuts back to Booby. He's like, hey, when Booby knocked them fools out, Booby gonna knock him out with black Nikes on his feet. Ain't that right? And then the Preacher Man guy looks up and goes, I'll knock your ass out in a pair of flip-flops. And then Booby laughs. He goes, all right, yeah, well, I'm going to knock him out with Nikes on my feet, and I'm going to smile when I do it. And then it cuts to the coach's office, and we see just state title, 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 state title.
Jesus.
All right? And it's our head coach, Billy Bob Thornton.
That makes sense.
You're a good guess. That sounds like a good guess on the coach's age. You're right on it, buddy.
That makes sense.
All right? And he's watching game tape of last year, and it's actual real tape of the real Booby Miles.
Oh.
And he's just down the sideline, gone. All right, gone. All right, and he's just one, and it's just another highlight of just young, of the real Booby just dominating, right? Mm-hmm. And then you hear back in the thing, one of the assistant coaches come in the locker room. 5 minutes till practice, it boys, suit up. Everyone's pumped up. Everyone's fucking getting in their zone. Everybody's fucking, you know what I mean? And then they start heading in, and then camera pans over to the Waterbug guy. and he has a black Sharpie, and he's fucking nervously trying to color his shoes black, his white Adidas. All right. So they line up on the field. Music gets real intense. Real intense. Just slows down, and then, bro, just fucking start. And practice starts, dog. And they're just running drills. Shit is intense. And they cut to the stands. Nothing but every big college. Name it. Name a college. Florida,
wow.
USC, Alabama, Auburn,
there
all of them. Georgia Tech, Georgia. Name it, baby. You know what I mean, baby? All of them. Every single one of them. First day, practice. This ain't a game, dog. All right?
Well, I mean, technically, it is a game. Yeah. Like, I get you what you mean. It's not a game, but it actually is a game.
Yeah, it's a game. Isn't that crazy? Because it's so not a game. But if you play it, it's so not a game.
Yeah, I mean, it's your whole life. It's your ticket to big things.
Ticket to life.
Yeah.
But it's your game.
It is just a game.
So, you see all the coaches watching practice, bro, and then you see this old black man. Camera pans down to this old black man. He's watching practice, and he looks up at all the college coaches, and he goes, "How y'all doing up there? Number 45, Booby. That's my nephew. Let me tell you something. That boy can play some football." All right, and then it cuts down to Booby, and he is just dominating practice. Just him dominating practice at a level that it doesn't make sense, okay? I mean, like Walter Payton shit.
He's going to get injured.
Okay? And he goes, "I'm telling you, that boy going," and then it cuts to one of the other players doing the interview, and he's like, "Oh yeah, he's definitely going to win the Heisman one day. He's one of the best running backs in the world." And then the guy goes, "He can spin," and then it shows Booby spinning. He can spin left, he can spin right. You know, he can block, he can tackle. Man, the boy will walk the dog, fill up the Gatorade cooler, and paint your back porch. All right? and then right then, as he's saying all that, Booby, they do like a fake bootleg to Booby, and then he fakes around, and then he stops, and he drops back, and then throws a 60 to 70 yard bomb. Beautiful, in stride, touchdown. And he looks back up at him, he goes, "And he can pass!" And the college coaches are just like, "God damn, dude." You know what I mean? And then everybody's just going, "Man, there's nobody else like him." And then they're asking all their these kids on the side of their porch, "Who's your guys' favorite player?" "Booby Miles, Booby Miles." You know what I mean? And then he's just like, "Man, yeah, you know, it's hard to be humble." You know, it's cutting to him, the reporter. He's just smiling, this big, beautiful, cocky smile. You know what I mean? And then one of the reporters goes, "Should we believe the hype?" And then he goes, "What hype?" "The hype around Booby Miles." "No, hype is something that's not real. I'm all real." And then it just cuts back to him. Beautiful, easy spin move, diving into the end. Just, you know what I mean? Just on his own teammates, just dominating, right? You know what I mean? And then they cut back like they're talking to the water bug guy. And they go, "So you're Booby's backup, right?" And he goes, "Oh, actually, no, I'm Booby's backup. And they're like, "Oh, you're the third string running back?" And they go, yeah. And then it cuts to him in practice, and he busts outside, and he's head up with like Preacher, and then he just runs out of bounds. And the coach is like, "You're scared to get hit, water bug. This is first day of practice. You're acting like a little goddamn girl." Just going off on him, right, for being a girl. Sorry, guys. Right? And so then they talk to the Billingsley guy, the white guy who said who recognize, and he's the fullback / one of their other kind of tailbacks, right? And he's number 26, and then he's saying how, man, you know, Odessa is a small town, and if you fuck up, everybody knows about it. And then right then he gets hit in practice and he fumbles, right?
It's the water boy?
The Billingsley guy.
Second string.
This is not the second string guy. He's the starting fullback.
Oh, starting fullback.
But they'll move him to tailback sometimes in the movie, but he's the starting fullback. Okay. But he's a starter. He's a starter, right? Mm-hmm. The third string, there's a second string running back, and then there's Waterbug. Okay.
Waterbug.
You can call him Waterboy. Why not? Go for it.
Same shit.
All right. So he says, "Small town, if you fuck up, you hear about it." And then right then, as he fumbles, it cuts back to him in the interview, and then they go, "Your dad was a local legend here. How does that feel to be the son of a legend?" And he goes, "Next question." And then right then it cuts to his dad in the stands. He goes, "Hold on to the ball, Donnie. God damn it, hold on to the ball." And then it cuts to, they show Booby dominate. Like, you just see the dad real quick, and then they show Booby dominating more in practice, right? And then it cuts to Billingsley, and he fumbles again. And then you see an older guy look down and he goes, "You sure he's your son, Charlie?" And then the guy looks up, and he runs out. It's Tim McGraw. Football dad once again.
Oh, wow. But this time he seems like a more intense football dad. Yeah, this time he seems like the type of football dad that makes people hate football. Makes their kids hate football. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
the type of football dad where the kid in the inside's like, man, I don't even want to fucking play this game anymore. This game fucking sucks. It's
Like,
not,
I'm really good at it.
yeah, but it
And
has never been fun.
you made it so not fun.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
good. That sucks. So
You know whose dad is like that I've read about recently? Aaron Rodgers' dad is like one of those huge, like the overbearing, like constant football dads. That's why they don't talk anymore.
hey, good job, Aaron Rodgers' dad.
Yeah.
You made a goddamn
You
champion.
made a goddamn champion, and I'm sorry you don't speak to him anymore.
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry that happened, but I mean, dude, well done on the football side. I mean, you made one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever walk the earth.
Yeah.
Seriously. Anyway, ooh, that sucks. Life's hard, isn't it,
Yeah.
guys?
Even when you're a champion, something don't go right.
Champion, fucking Olivia Munn, got all the money in the world.
And
Can't talk to your
I
dad.
hate your dad.
Anyway, so he goes, hey, Donnie. Tim McGraw, he heads out onto the field.
Mm.
Practice is going on. Okay? Heads out on the field. Come here. And then everybody's looking at it. And then he goes, what's the problem? And then he's like, get off the field, Dad. He goes, what's so goddamn hard about holding on to the football, huh? What's all you got to do is hold on to the goddamn football, and you can't do it. What's so hard about holding on to the goddamn ball, Donnie? And he's like, Dad, I'll try better next time. I promise. Oh, I'll try better next time. And then he walks like the son turns to walk away, grabs him by his collar, bam, slams him. And then he gets up and everybody's like, whoa. And then he grabs him by his face mask, bam, slams him again. The coach and then the fucking head coach, Billy Bob Thornton, is just watching. Just like, fuck it. You know what I mean? And then fucking the star safety, the Chavez guy, the Mexican guy, he comes over and he has to break it up. He's like, Mr. Billingsley, it's the first day of practice. It's the first day of practice. And he fucking punches him. Not Chavez, his son, in the helmet, like just boom. He's like, Mr. Billingsley, it's the first day of practice, man. Come on. And then he goes, God damn it, Donnie, get your shit together. And then Tim McGraw walks off the field, right?
Jesus.
And then Winchell calls everybody back to the huddle. And he goes, hey man, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You'll get him next time, all right? And he hits him on the head. And then he starts calling the next play. And then Boobie goes, hey, yo, Billingsley. And everybody looks up and he goes, you ain't got to worry about holding on to the ball, dog. And Billingsley's like, why is that? He's like, because you ain't never going to get the ball. Your job is to be blocking for Boobie. I don't give a shit if your daddy is up there crying. And then Billingsley goes, you just don't shut up, do you? And then bam, and then they just start fucking fighting. And Boobie's fighting. He's like, yeah. And this is what also I'm saying, bro. Great. Some people are just meant to be great. They know it. Bro, they're fighting and they break it up and Boobie's just like, whoa, that's what I'm talking about, boy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I wanted. I want you to get mad. Let's go. You know what I mean? We here to win, bro. We're like, fuck your dad. You got to fight. Let's fight, but let's go. Like, you got the mentality of that. Some people just like, bro, I'm going to get greatness out of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think that's what he was doing?
He's being a dick.
Yeah.
You ever hear stories about Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan?
Yeah, they're assholes.
Larry Bird?
Yeah.
What they did to their teammates? Listen to their teammates. Ask them if they like those guys. They say they love playing with them. Ask them if they like them, though. You don't hear those stories about people liking Michael Jordan. You hear stories about people loving Michael Jordan.
Right. I feel what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Those dudes were fucking monsters, but also they won how many rings, baby? Let's count the rings, though. You know what I mean? Let's count the rings. So just, he's talking shit. Cuts to the coach. He's getting interviewed about the team, and they keep asking the questions about how small they are this year. How are you going to win? You lost all your size last year, blah, blah, blah. You got a lot of speed, but you guys are really small. And he goes, well, we're not going to rely on that. We're going to rely on our discipline, and we are going to rely on our, on how much speed we have. And then right then a guy goes, a guy's interviewing the DN, the preacher guy, and they go, do football players get special treatment here? And then the preacher guy just goes, Marshawn Lynch stops. And then they go, do you enjoy playing football here? Do you like football? And then right then it cuts back to the coach, and he's going off of how they need to practice, and they need it harder, blah blah blah. How they're small, and people are gonna underestimate you every week, and you're gonna be small every week. Ain't gonna be no growth spurt from now to the first game. We're small. Let's go, And then he gets them in the thing, and then they just start fucking doing hitting drills, bro. Just straight up circle hitting drills, all practice to the point, where they got the big DN, big Ivory guy, and he's just getting blasted in the circle. You know what I mean? But getting up. Come on, Ivory, get up. You got to play with your heart. You got to play with your mind. That's what's good, and that's what you're going to use to win the state title. Get up, Ivory. And he gets up, bam, gets blasted again. Practice ends, right? And he goes, it was a good day, gentlemen. It's Billy Bob Thornton. It was a good day. It was a good day to think about responsibility. Your responsibility to protect this team, this school, and this town. And believe you me, we are in the business of protecting this town. Seriously, imagine that, bro. Like, people in it matters.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot to put on like 15-year-olds.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
And put it on them. Like, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, like, no, yeah.
This is big.
This is big. This is the whole town.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big fucking deal. All right. So, he goes, you know, we're gonna use that, blah blah blah. He goes, let me remind you, we are in the business of winning. Okay, we will win state. We will win state. Now, can you be perfect? Cut, right? So they're at now like a food burger place, right? The team, like later at night, right? Billings cuts Billingsley, and he's like pouring like liquor in his drink, right? He's getting drunk, all right? And he's convincing the Mike Winchell guy, the quarterback, to hang out with him and come to a party. And Winchell's like, no, I'm just going home, blah, blah, blah. And then right then this guy comes up, he goes, Billingsley, party at Taylor's house now, come on, Billingsley. And then he spins off, right? And then the Chavez guy looks at Billingsley and goes, dude, isn't that guy like 35? And Billingsley goes, yeah. So right then the owner comes out and he gives the Mike Winchell guy more food, right? And he goes, hey, here's some free food for your mom, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, you don't want me to pay? He goes, you know, it's on the house. And then right then the Billingsley guy goes, man, how come you never give me free food, Dan? And he goes, what are you talking about? This food's free. All your food's free. He goes, oh, yeah, I forgot. And then he bites another big bite of the burger, right? And yeah, bro, you were right about that. You called a lot of stuff. And so
Wait, what did I call about him?
they get a lot of free stuff.
Oh yeah, they just do get a lot of free shit.
So right then their star safety, Chavez, he's convincing Mike to go out as well. He's like, yo, bro, you got to lighten up and have a good time. He's like, you know, blah, blah, blah. We're going to be fine this year. Stop worrying about just football. We got a runner. We got an ace. He says, all you got to do is exist in those few seconds between when you get the ball snapped and you give it off to Boobie. And then he kind of looks at him, right?
That's fair. High school football is interesting where it's one player can absolutely dominate a game. And like can dominate a season.
Hmm?
Yeah. That's what makes it interesting. Yeah, you can, if you have a guy like that in high school, you can just run it every time.
Mm-hmm. But one player cannot win you a 5A state title in Texas.
No. That's fair.
You know what I mean? We ain't talking because it's just teams. So, but that's actually not in tech. That's any league.
Right.
One player, when it comes to championship games, you even that one player needs some help.
Yeah.
You got to have some kind of team around him. You know what I mean? If he's gonna win the title, he can win some games. If he's gonna go undefeated and win a championship,
You need a team.
you need some kind of team, and then him, and then ace.
Right.
You know. So, a guy right then walks up and asks Mike. He goes, "Hey, Mike, how you doing? You know, this like weird kind of burly dude, right?" And he goes, "Hey, Mike, you know, with the quarterback, how you doing?" And he goes, "Hey, what's up, Brian?" He goes, "Hey, man, can I talk to you for a second?" And then he goes, "Yeah." And then he asks him to take a picture. Mike wants to take a picture with his daughter. And then he goes, Mike's like, "Yeah, all right, man." And then the guy goes, "Hey, where's the damn camera?" And he's looking at his girl. "Where's the damn camera?" Like yelling at her. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then she gives it to him and she gives her his daughter. He's like, "All right, you're going to take a picture with the next state quarterback in Texas. Woo, take it on, smile, honey." And then you tell Mike's just like, "The fuck, man." You know what I mean? And then,
Crazy.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And then right then he goes, before he takes a picture, he goes, "Man, you got to live for these moments, all right? Because these moments are forever. It's the best they're going to get, all right? Okay?" And then he goes, right then, it's like really sad, by the way. He goes, "It's the best you're going to get. This is the best your life's ever going to be. High school football. You understand that? You know what I mean? Don't forget that." Like he's saying like sad shit, you know? And then he goes, and then they take the picture and then the guy goes, "Hey, can you do me a favor, man? Can you just hold on to her for a while? Me and her are going to go get a drink or two." And then they turn and they walk. And Mike's like, and then they come back, like, "Oh, man, we're just fucking with you, man. Come on, man. Give it a baby, dog." And then he gives him the baby. He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "All right, now, boys, get you one of these." And then he holds up and then he has a state title. He has a state ring on. He goes, "Get you one of these, all right? It's important. Get one of these." All right. And then he walks off, okay? So he sits down, and then it's quiet at the table for a minute, and it's just Preacher and Mike Winchell, the quarterback, and the quiet black DN Preacher. And he's fucking sitting there. He looks at him. He goes, "You want to go to that party? You want to go to that party?" And then Preacher looks at him, And then Mike Winchell goes, I mean, just for a little bit. And then Preacher goes, like, and they cut to it, and then they're like at a big, humongous house party.
Nice.
Okay. Run DMC's playing and shit, and just like it's turned the fuck up. So, but it cuts, like it shows this crazy part, and then it shows them two in the corner just not talking to anybody, not smiling.
Yeah, man. Some people aren't party people,
Mhm.
and you just have to find that out.
Yeah, I mean, I get the one. I like that Preacher because you do. That is the feeling of like you want to go, and you're like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's do
and then
it.
you get there, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'd
yeah.
rather just go play football.
Yeah. I remember why I didn't go to this.
Yeah,
That's
right,
how I feel. That's how I feel when I bought Red Dead Redemption. I was
Yeah.
like in it. I was like, this is a video game craze. I'm gonna do it, and then I got it, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't really.
play storyboard games like
I don't,
that.
yeah, I don't really care about video game crazes. I just have
Yeah.
the games that I like, and that's all I play.
Red Dead Code, good
Yeah,
game.
he loves it.
So they it cuts to this fancy dinner, right?
Mhm.
Fancy dinner party, and it's the coach with all these like booster kind of people, okay? And they're asking him about why the team is so small this year and how they're going to combat that, and blah blah blah. With 5A Texas ball, we're small. What are we going to do? And then and these just people in like gowns and shit asking, like beautiful women asking him these kind of questions, and he's just looking at his wife like, and his wife's just like, I don't know how to help. Jesus Christ, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then right then a girl walks up to Mike, and then she goes, "Hey, Mike," back at the party, right? It's cutting back and forth. He goes, "I'm Melissa," and then they flirt for a little while, right? And then it cuts back to the dinner, and the woman asks if you're gonna play. This woman goes, "Hey, coach, are you gonna play Booby at middle linebacker this year?" And he goes, "Oh no, we don't want to exhaust him. We need him on the offense scoring touchdown." And she goes, "Oh, that big old nigger ain't gonna break." And he's just like. he just takes it.
Jeez.
Yeah, bro. And she goes, "You got to bust heads out." I mean, it's 1988, of course.
Yeah.
They would have said it so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something you say now.
Dude, come on, baby.
Yeah, that's something that's absolutely they say now.
So she goes, "You got to bust heads out there with him at linebacker, blah, 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 and beat Midland Lee. That's the most important thing. We got to beat Midland Lee." And then she goes, and then another old lady goes, "Are you ready for Midland Lee, coach?" And then he looks at this woman and he looks at his wife. He's just like, Jesus fuck. You know what I mean? And then at the party, it cuts to Booby, and Booby's dancing with all the bitches. Booby's got all the girls dancing on him, right? And then it pans over to Waterbug, and his girl's going off on him in the corner. "Why ain't you getting no playing time? Oh my God, you gonna get any playing time this year?" And then he goes, "Look, Booby." She goes, "Oh, it's always about Booby. Booby this, Booby that. Why don't you just get better at football, Waterbug?" And he's just like, his head's just down. He's just getting berated by this girl, right? And then so they show Mike, and he's flirting with the girl again. And then she asks him if he's gay. He goes, "Hell no, I ain't gay." And she goes, "No? Well, why don't you prove it?" And he goes, right? And so it cuts to them upstairs, and they just get done fucking, right? Like Mike's putting his pants on. And then she's asking him like personal questions about his mom. She's like, "Is your mom crazy?" He goes, "No." He goes, "Are you crazy?" He goes, "Do I look crazy?" And she goes, "You look like someone who wants to leave here and never come back." And then he doesn't smile or say anything. And then she kisses him. And then she goes, "I'll see you around." And then she just leaves. And he's just looking at himself in the mirror. Like,
Jesus.
it's a fast life for a 17-year-old,
Yeah, so that's a crazy fast life.
bro.
Let's fucking afterwards reevaluate everything. Yeah, that's nuts.
So Billingsley gets home with some hot ass bitch, right?
Yeah, he didn't even get to enjoy the sex really afterwards.
Not right after, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
There was no laying in
She
it. There
left.
was
She
no.
was just like, "All right, I just wanted to fuck you because I know you're the starting quarterback and that's hot."
What a life. What a life.
So Billingsley gets home, right, with some hot bitch.
Mhm.
And they're making out hardcore and they're stumbling around, like knocking shit over, right? And he gets on the couch and then he takes her top off, right? And then she gets on top of him and then like he flips her over and then they knock over a lamp, you know what I mean? And they're just like kissing and shit. And then the camera pans over and Tim McGraw is standing in his underwear and he's just watching. Like this. Yeah, dude. And then she goes, "Let's go back to your bedroom." And then as they get up, he looks up and then he's just sitting in and he goes, "Hey, Dad." And then she covers up and he goes, "This." And then Billing's like, "This is Melissa." And she goes, "Maria." And then he goes, Yeah, Maria." And then he goes, "Damn, Maria. God, I remember when you were a little girl. You done grown up." She's still in high school, dude. And then he goes, "Dad, go back to bed." And then he goes, "What happened to my lamp?" And then right then his wife comes out, right? And then the wife and Maria, they clearly know each other. She's like, "Hey, Flippy." She's like, "Hi, Maria." And he goes, "Hey, what happened to my lamp?" And then Billingsley's like, I dropped it, Dad. Yo, that makes perfect sense, huh? You dropped it. Can't hold on to the lamp. Can't hold on to the football. You're like, who is this? You know where this is going. You know?
Yeah.
And he goes, I can hold on to the football just fine, Dad. Now get the hell out of here. And he goes, oh, yeah. Since when, huh? Since when can you hold on to the football?
Damn, this dad clock blocking the shit out of him.
Dude, his dad only cares about him fumbling at practice one time.
Yeah. That's wild. That's wild. Like, this argument couldn't wait.
I mean, be mad about me for having a girl on your couch and knocking down your lamp. I totally get that. I'm all about, hey, you broke my lamp. You're fucking on my couch. She needs to get out of here.
He also clearly doesn't care about that.
Yeah, it's just like, no, he was going to jerk off to that.
Yeah, he was watching your son fuck.
He was just mad about the fumble at practice.
Christ, there's a whole porn category about that probably now.
Your son fumbles at practice and your dad watches you fuck your girlfriend?
It's a point of view where you watch your son at football practice and he fumbles and then you watch him fuck. Bro. And then the genre of football that genre of porn would just be called Friday Night Lights.
And it has like 50 million videos.
Bro, we just invented like a thing. That's
it's all point of view.
Yeah, it's all point of view.
Come on, Donnie. Come on, Donnie. Stupid. So he goes, you gonna hold since when can you hold on the football, huh? What about yesterday? Did you hold on the football yesterday? Huh? What about today? You gonna hold on the football today? What about tomorrow? You gonna hold on the football tomorrow, huh? What about now? And then he hands him a football and he goes, and he puts him down. You gonna hold on the football now? And he takes out duct tape, bro, and he he holds him down and duct tapes the football to his fucking hands. Huh? You hold on to the football now, Donnie? How about you hold on to the goddamn... And his mom's trying to get him off and the girl's trying to get him off. Get off me! Hold on to the ball! And then he starts punching the ball. Hold on to the ball, Donnie! Hold on to the ball, Donnie! Dad! Just cuts.
Fuck.
It's the next morning.
Good God.
And it's Billingsley, right? He's just eating a burrito with Chavez early in the morning. They're at a 7-Eleven, like eating breakfast burritos. And then a cop pulls up right next to him. And then cop goes, you boys all right? Yes, sir. You gonna win state? Yes, sir. Undefeated? Yes, sir. Get it done. And then the sheriff leaves, bro.
Jesus.
Bro!
That's scary.
So they're in the weight room now, right? The team's all working out in the weight room. Mm-hmm. Getting it in. Hard. I mean, they're busting it. You know what I mean? And then Booby is reading a letter from USC, but he's struggling. And one of the other players is like just helping him, right? And he goes like, and Booby's like, what's that word? And he goes, distinguished. And he goes, oh, you're distinguished, blah, blah, blah. And then he looks up and he goes, hey, Mike, to the quarterback. He's lifting. And he goes, hey, Mike Winchell, you going to come to visit my distinguished ass in California? And then Mike just stops and looks at him. He's like, because you know I'm going to be rich, right? And I'm going to hire one of them, like somebody like Eddie Murphy, come lay some of his shit on you just to make you crack a damn smile. Why won't you smile, Mike?
He's so going to get injured. Jesus Christ.
He goes, what, you don't like?
I know the universe.
He goes, what, you don't like Eddie Murphy? Huh? What about Richard Pryor, huh? No, you don't like Richard Pryor? And Mike's just looking at him. Well, Bill Cosby, huh? You got to like Bill Cosby. And then he does like a Bill Cosby impression. He's like, wah! He's doing this impression, right? And then he just doesn't laugh, right? He goes, you know what, Mike? One day you going to visit me you going to visit Booby out in California, and you going to smile, or I'm going to stick like 5 pudding pops up your white ass. And then Mike starts kind of laughing, right? And he goes, like, not a lot, just a little bit. And he goes, oh shit, I made Mike Winchell smile. Y'all see that? Yeah, that's right. Made Mike Winchell smile, baby. I'm distinguished now. You know, and then he starts leaving. He grabs all of his school, like these letters from USC and Ohio State and all these letters, right? And he picks them all up and he starts walking out. And then Mike goes, hey, Booby, you didn't lift. And then Booby stops and goes, lift? I'm God-given, baby. He goes, this is God-given, baby. All I got to do is show up. And then he leaves. And then it cuts to Preacher, and Preacher's just like, so pissed, right? So they show them showing up to school, and like cheerleaders are like giving them rice cakes that are like statues of themselves and shit.
Oh, that's
and, like,
wild.
all kinds of shit, right? And then one of the boosters knocks on the coach's office and goes, hey, coach, you mind if we talk to you for 1 second? And the coach is like, yeah, I got a second. Come on in. And then like 6 other boosters come in, and he's just like, you know, and then he goes, hey, what's up, fellas? And he goes, oh, we just come in here and talk about the game. You know, he's like, oh, how you feel about the game, coach? He's like, oh, you know, I feel good. You know, feeling good. I think, you know, the boys are going to get the job done. He says like some coach kind of shit. And then he goes, oh, yeah, well, we just want to come in here and talk about defense. You know, really, we just want to really talk about defense. And then they close the door, and the coach is like, get the fuck out of here, man. You know what I mean? And then
Well, that's your money, so you got to listen to
I
them.
know. And so because I mean, it's this, state of the art everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they show Booby, right? And he's running to practice again school the next day. And all of his fans are behind him, the little kids. And he's just running. He's like kind of playing with them, shit, just being a star. And he's walking down the hallways and people are high-fiving him. Booby! Everybody's chanting his name. He's just walking down, you know, chill. And then it shows the water bug. He's like walking behind him, like and his girlfriend's like leading the way. And the water bug's kind of just holding a hand. You know what I mean? And so, and all these people are giving the coach their just opinions about what he needs to do with the defense and how to combat them being small and like all blitz and all this stuff. And then he's just like nodding, you know? So cuts back to Mike Winchell's house. And he's getting recruited by Kansas Wesleyan. And they're telling him how they're a D2 school, but they like how he plays and blah, blah, blah. And they're interested. And then the mom right then goes, do you guys want him? He'll sign a letter of intent right now if you offering a scholarship. And then they go, whoa, we're just interested right now. You know, we just want to see how the season goes, blah, blah, blah. You know, and if you have a great season, you know, we think we could use you. And then Mike starts asking questions about how far away it is from home and, you know, will he be able to come home? You can tell he's like nervous, right? And then right then the other coach who's sitting there quietly, he goes, hey, Mike, the other guy recruiting him goes, hey, Mike Winchell, do you like football? And then Mike looks up and he goes, yes. And he goes, well, is it fun? Yes, sir. Lots of fun, sir. And he goes, you know, it's supposed to be fun, you know. It's the greatest game in the world. It's supposed to be a lot of fun. And then Mike's just like, you know what I mean?
Jeez, a lot going on right now.
So the coach comes back to coach, right?
Yeah.
Head coach. Coach Gary Gaines is his name, by the way. And he's giving a toast at a dinner. And he's at dinner with his wife and Booby Miles' uncle. Okay. And he goes, hey, I just want you to know I'm so proud of you, everything you've done so far and everything that you're going to do in your life and everything that's coming forward for you for this season and just in your life. And I just wanted you to know, everything. You're like, I'm just so proud of you, you know, right? And he goes, and I just want God to keep blessing you and LV, everything you've done with this kid, to raising him and just being there for him and being at every practice and taking him to every game. And just want to thank you too, man. And God bless all of us. And I hope let's have a great year, right? And they toast. And then right then you hear the crowd. And then you see like jerseys like of the locker room and like the helmets and like all the cleats and everybody's uniforms like lined up, ready to go. Which, I do miss that. I miss coming in on game day and all your shit's just there. And you just get ready in the zone. You know what I mean? You're getting all taped up, sitting at people, and everybody's doing everything for you. You know what I'm saying? It's just deep. Like, I do miss that, bro. I do miss that. Oh, yeah. So right then you hear the lights cut on, like, all the lights cut on in the stadium, and then he shows all the towns in the store, like all the stores in the town, and they're all closed. Signs gone to the game. Every town, like every shop. All right. September 2nd, 1988. Odessa Permian versus Marshall. Okay.
First game,
baby. Coach Gary Gaines. He's giving his speech before the game, right? And he goes, we've been thinking about this for 4 months. You seniors, you've been thinking about it for 17 years. And it's here now. It's time. You shouldn't have any doubt in your mind about what you're supposed to do out there tonight and how you're supposed to do it. And then you hear, so let's take care of it. And fucking dope rap music starts kicking into, you know what I mean? And then we see Booby just fucking spin move, 50-yard touchdown, just gone, you know what I mean? Crowd goes nuts, you know what I mean? And all the shots in this, by the way, are amazing. This, as far as football goes, and football movies, and directing or some shit, best football movie I've ever seen. I mean, it's still to this day, best football shots, most realistic, like, damn, this looks like high school football. It feels like high quality, like football, but they shot it great.
You like this better than Rudy?
Oh, for football's sake, not even
Yeah.
close. This is Rudy's
All
not even Rudy. No, I mean as a movie, Rudy's one of the best movies of all time. But this movie's better as football movie.
Okay, this is just.
This is the
all
greatest football movie of all time.
Okay, I feel what you're
no
saying.
questions asked.
I see
No,
what
not
you're
even
saying.
close. You know what I mean? It
feel what you're
nailed
saying.
football.
Okay.
Nailed it. And then as a movie, it's I love it too, and that's what makes it my favorite movie, just because it's a great movie as well.
But you live that life.
I live this life.
Yeah.
But as a football movie, it's over any other football movie.
Okay.
No football, just the way they shot it. Pete Berg, great job, buddy. Directed this.
Yeah, I figured you weren't just saying a random name.
No, Pete Berg. What's up,
Berg.
dog? Just some guy.
Good key gripping.
It's key grip. He nailed it. So Booby told you just touchdown, crowd's going nuts, and just Booby's kicking ass, right? And another one, he takes one to the house, and then right then it cuts to him, and he makes another crazy long run. He gets tackled, and then he breaks another 45-yard touchdown run.
Okay.
Booby just gone to the house, right? And then it cuts to them on offense again. Billingsley makes a great block up the middle. Booby jumps over the block, fucking cuts to the right, breaks another touchdown. You know what I
Jesus.
mean? Oh, he's that kind of superstar. You know what I mean? And then the commentators are going crazy for him, just bragging about how great he is and blah, 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 right? And then he breaks another long touchdown run, okay? Remember the guy I showed you in my high school?
Yeah.
We're talking about that. We're talking about that kind of shit, all right?
Yeah.
So they show Chavez kill, or Barry Sanders Jr. highlights. You've seen these kind of guys.
I've seen Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, yeah. So they show Chavez killing on defense, too. They just show how badass he is. You know what I mean? Laying people out. So they do a reverse pass. Booby completes a great pass, and then he scores another 35-yard rush touchdown. You know what I mean? They're up 42-7 now. It's fourth quarter, right? They call Waterbug in the game, okay? Waterbug runs out. He's all excited. He goes out without a helmet, okay? And the coach grabs him. He goes, "Where you going, son?" He goes, "Oh, I'm going out to play." "Where's your helmet?" "Oh, you can't go out there without a helmet, son." And he goes up and he starts looking for his helmet. And everybody's laughing at him like, "Waterbug, where's your helmet?" And then Booby's looking at him. He's like, "Man, we can't go out there without a helmet, Waterbug." And then they go, "Booby, come out here." And then Booby goes out, and then the assistant coach starts going off on Waterbug. "Waterbug, you going on without a helmet? Hey, helmet. What's wrong? Just, you're a fucking idiot." Just the assistant's going off on him, man. Same assistant was going off on him at the practice, okay?
This is the time where Booby gets injured, isn't it?
Yeah. So Booby gets a toss. And he stops, and just like earlier in the game, when he does this great reverse field touchdown, he stops, he reverses because a guy he makes him a guy miss, and he dives. So he stops reverse field, and this other big DN comes out of nowhere. Crack! Lays him out. And you just hear that knee, and he goes down. And this is what I love about how he directed this. They don't like set it up like he's about to get hurt. Like they don't like slow-mo it, or it's just going and then he gets hurt and then everything stops. So it's going like the pace of everything that's supposed to be going, and then he gets hurt and now it's like the movie goes into slow motion a little bit. Like, because now it's like back in the reality and everybody's like, and now this takes a long time. Like that, like, you know what I mean? I love that choice of like, we're gonna let the injury happen fast and then let right after the injury slow that down.
Oh God.
So now the injury, you don't have to see like, oh, it's not like graphic or anything. He just gets hurt really, and then he's screaming, and then you're like, yeah.
Oh, this is a problem.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, he's yelling, ah, ah. The crowd goes completely silent. Everyone stands on their feet. Everyone in the whole silent. You know what I mean? And then you just hear Booby yelling on the field. Ah, ah. And then the coach, Gary Gaines, he looks back at his assistant. He goes, "Was that his knee?" And the coach goes, "Yeah, I think it was." And then it cuts back to his uncle, and his uncle just looks concerned and terrified. All the other coaches look terrified. And then it shows the other team, the guy who hit him, and they just kind of like high five each other on the slick. You know what I mean? Like, fuck yeah, we got that, dude. So it cuts back up to Booby, and he's like, get up, Booby. His uncle, he's like, get up. He's like trying to hold back tears. And then Booby's just straining, right? And then they show the scoreboard, slow pan up to the scoreboard. 42-7, fourth quarter. A minute, 30-something seconds left.
He shouldn't have been in the game.
Oh, you already know it. I mean, I love that they didn't say it. They just, the slow pan up goes, that's all we need to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, cuts to them at the end of, like, now they're back in the coach is talking to the doctor, right? And he goes, "So what is it?" And the doctor's like, "Oh, it's his ACL. It's torn, for sure." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, yeah, there's no way." He goes, "Well, what do you think?" He goes, "What do I think?" The doctor's like, "Well, I think it's all going to depend on how he responds to this mentally." He's like, and he looks back, and he goes, "Well, what are you going to tell the team?" And the coach just kind of smiles, and he walks out, and he goes, "All right, guys, that was a hell of a win. All right, just want to say everything's fine. All right, there's no tear. You know, he just sprained. He'll be back in a week, but don't worry about that. That's good news. But even better news, you guys played a great game tonight. That's even better news. Come on. And he gets the team riled up again. You know what I mean? That's the great news. And he starts going on. Mike Winchell, Mike, that's a way to play tough. It's a way to show leadership. And, you know, he's a Damon. Hey, that's the way you block tackle, son. And he's like, yeah, that's the way you tackle right there. All right, now I want you guys to go out. You're going to celebrate. Feel good tonight. Feel good about yourselves. Come on, everybody. And they go, yeah. Team starts celebrating. And then at the moment he turns, he just goes, like, you know what I mean? Just like,
fucked.
yeah.
Yeah, we're fucked. That's our season.
It's our season.
That's our season.
So on the drive home, he's listening to the radio stations, and you know, I mean, what are they saying? You know what they're saying. Go ahead. You guess what they're saying. Go ahead, because I'm
Why
sure.
was he in there?
How would a radio commentator say it though? This kind of remember the guys that we shot him. How's he saying it? You know, this really happened. What is he saying? 42-7. They lose their star running back.
Does Greg Gaines even know what he's doing out there? Are we wasting our money on a guy who doesn't know what he's doing? You're up 42-7. A minute left in the fourth quarter, and you put your star running back in?
Back in.
You put your star running back in. Man, has this guy ever played football in his life?
I'm gonna kill his wife.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty spot on. You nailed it.
I know sports radio, bro. It's like
Also, that's how you felt.
It's like political radio, but about sports.
Yo, it's so exactly
Bro,
like
there's no
political
difference
radio.
between Rush Limbaugh and Skip Bayless. There's zero difference.
Joke of the day. Write that down, motherfuckers. So he ruined our whole season. Oh my God, he's a fucking idiot. Just they're bleeping out the cuss words. You know what I mean? They're going off, right?
Yeah.
And then the guy's going, we can't do anything without Boobie Miles, blah, blah, blah. So at the doctor's office, Boobie asks, you know, he goes, hey, can I play on Friday? And then the doctor's like, son, you have a slight tear, you know, blah, blah, blah. And Boobie's like, well, can I play? He goes, Boobie, you're going to have to get up to Midland and you're going to have to get you an MRI. Can an MRI fix your knee? And the doctor's just like not like this guy's an idiot way, but you know, like, oh, this poor kid.
Yeah.
He has no idea what's happening right now. You know what I mean? So a reporter's talking to the head coach. He's asking if he can win without Boobie. And he goes, yo, this is a team. This is how, you know, we won before, and it's not just a one-man game, and that's how we play. September 9th, 1988, Odessa Permian versus Abilene County. Abilene, all right?
Yeah.
Game starts with a fumble, right? And then they just get, you already know.
Damon.
Billingsley.
Oh, Billingsley, that's his name, yeah.
And they just get walloped. No, not Billingsley, Winchell. Fumbles. Quarterback fumbles. They get walloped. He's just throwing interception after interceptions. Coach Gaines is going off on Winchell the whole game. What are you playing like? You know what I mean? Get hammered 49-6. They're 1-1 by a district team.
So not even another 5A team.
No.
By someone in their division.
In the division. Pretty,
Okay.
Yeah. So this is in their district.
Yeah.
So a division will be a district.
That makes
all right.
sense.
So this is like, you know, you can't, to get in the playoffs, you can't lose them. It's just like you can't lose that many of those.
Yeah. They probably lost the only one they can lose.
You know exactly. Well, Texas 5A, yeah, you can't lose that one.
Yeah.
Losing that one already, you're done pretty much.
Yeah.
Unless you get lucky with how everything else goes down.
Now the other that they have to lose in games you have no control over.
And you have to win everything else.
Yeah.
So, the fans are devastated, right? Billingsley, he's walking out to his car, and his dad's just laying on his car. And he goes, hell of a game, son. This doesn't say anything. Way to take care of business. And he has another drink. And he's like, just give me the keys, Dad. And his dad throws the keys kind of at him. And then his dad just keeps drinking out of his flask, right? Tim McGraw's just a great guy.
He's like really the complete opposite of his Blindside guy.
Dude, which I was like, yo, good range, too. Because you believe, it ain't like you watch this and go, oh, cool. It's like both both characters are like, oh, what a nice guy.
Yeah.
This one, you're like, dude.
Yeah, relax. Dude.
Come on. Your son's a great player.
Yeah.
They lost today, but he had a great game first game. They showed him having great plays first game. You know what I mean? Great lead blocks for Boobie and
But
stuff.
he probably doesn't say shit when he has a good game.
Of course not. You know the dads like this. They just there, but had plenty to say this game. So Coach Gaines, he gets home, right? And he gets home and he pulls in his driveway, and on his front lawn are for sale signs covering his front lawn. He lost one game. So his wife is just waiting outside, and she's just like, he just walks up to her, and he just hugs her, and they're just looking at all the signs. Game 2 of the season, dude. Dude, I can't wait for you to watch this movie. I almost want to watch this one with you. I really do. So, cuts to Boobie's house, right?
Right.
And the uncle's talking to the head coach, talking to Gary Gaines. And he goes, we just need a few more days, coach, and we're going to be back. And then he goes, are you sure about that? And he goes, look, coach, we're going to go up to Midland. We're going to get that MRI. And I'm telling you, coach, he's going to be fine because there already ain't no tear. And the coach goes, there's no tear. He goes, I'm telling you, we talked to the first doctor. There's no tear. And he looks at Boobie. He goes, Boobie, there's no tear. And Boobie's like, you know? He's like, okay. And then he looks at him, and then the uncle goes, I'm telling you, coach, by the time Midland Lee comes around, we going to be ready. And he goes, okay, that's good then. And then he leaves the house, and then he stands outside the house, and he just kind of thinks for a minute. And then he leaves. All right? So you see a rock right there, a rock gets thrown in the air, and then pow, gets shot to dust. And then you hear the Winchell go, he designed his offense to be built around one player. We dead. And then another guy goes, Chavez goes, man, we aren't dead. And then Billingsley goes, we got to throw the football. We're dead. And then Winchell goes, dead. And then they both shoot another rock. Like even Winchell's like, nigga, I can't throw like enough to, I can't throw good enough for us to win a state title. I can throw, but you know, I'm a D2 kind of quarterback. Like you give me a great team, I'll win us a state title all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But they need help.
But I love a quarterback who's like, hey man, I'm gonna need some fucking help. We fucked.
Yeah.
Unless the defense just plays absolutely lights out, but even still, we're fucked.
I mean, you gotta have a Ravens 2000 defense or some shit like that. You gotta have an unbelievable defense.
Even then, they had such athletes. I mean, their special teams game with Jermaine Lewis was amazing. They had and then Shannon Sharp. They had another wide receiver who was really good, and then the running back was Jamal Lewis.
For 2000?
Wasn't it Jamal Lewis that year?
Might have been. Might not have
Pretty
been.
sure, because I thought they had the three Lewises. Ray Lewis, the guy who had all those special teams touchdowns, the kick returns for touchdowns, the one in the Super Bowl as well. You know what I mean? Like against the Giants. I mean, yeah, dude, you would need that. I mean, you still, like I said, you need athletes like a motherfucker.
Right.
You know? So they go, he goes, man, Chavez goes, man, we got to lighten up. We're only 17. And then Billingsley turns around and goes, do you feel 17? And then Mike Winchell's like, I know I don't feel 17. And then Chavez is like, man, we're going to win state. We're going to win state. And then they look at him and they laugh. Like, man, you're so full of shit, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And he goes, and they go, man, the reason he says stuff like that is because he got the grades. He can think positive. He's out of here no matter what. You know, no matter what he's getting out, he's got straight A's. You know what I mean? And Chavez is just like, they just keep giving him shit, right?
Right.
About how he's going to be rich doctor and all this shit. So that's why it doesn't matter for him. He's a great player, but blah, blah, blah. You don't care. You know what I mean? So at practice, reporters are talking to Winchell. And he's having a bad practice. And they're asking him, like, how he's going to do this and how he's going to do that. And then right then it cuts to the coach. He's like, you're playing like a fool. When you have a receiver jammed inside, what do? What does your brain do when a receiver's jammed inside? What do you do?
When the receiver is jammed inside. During the actual play?
Yeah.
You move on to the next read.
Well, no, you throw it to him regardless.
You're throwing to him regardless. He's jammed inside. You outside shoulder.
Throw outside.
Yeah.
You throw. That's what he says. It just like that. You throw outside. Well, can you do that? Because he just didn't do it. You know what I mean? It's one of those kind of scenes where I love, because it's like, oh man, I remember that moment. Flat 8. Throw outside.
Yeah.
He's like, well, show me then. Yes, sir. Show me. God damn it. So, it cuts to Mike, right? And he's talking on a payphone now in the middle of a desert. And he goes, look, listen, man, someone got to come back and take care of mom. She's getting more sick. Well, listen, man, it's just football's here now, and it's a lot, all right? Season started. Well, if you could just come help. Well, she's your mom too, man. Okay. He leaves.
This is Winchell.
Yeah, but I love that you don't even know who he talked to or what, but they just show you what this kid was going through.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Kid's going through it.
So at home, the coach comes to his house, right? And he goes, hey, Mike, can you get the job done? Gary Gaines. And then Mike's like, he's all nervous and his legs shaking. He's holding like a toy car and he's spinning in his hands. And he's like, I mean, we're kind of small, coach. And he goes, I didn't ask you that, son. I asked you if you can get the job done. And Mike's like, I think so. Well, you're going to have to do a lot better than that. You understand me? Are we clear? You got to do something personally to fix this, to fix what's going on. And he's like, yes, sir. And then the coach looks out and he sees his mom's feet like up on a recliner. And he goes, do you want to play college ball, son? And then Mike's like, I think so. He goes, well, why aren't you doing something about it? And then he goes, my mom isn't right. And then he starts crying. He breaks down a little bit. You know what I mean? And he goes, listen, man, one day you're going to have to leave here. He goes, yes, sir. And you're going to have to accept that people have to take care of themselves. And that includes you. You have to take care of yourself. You understand that? Now, if you decide to do that and accept that, I'm going to tell you, you're really going to fly, son. You're going to fly. Yes, sir. September 16th, Odessa Permian versus Cooper. Okay. Well, same song, different verse, commentators are saying. Middle of the second, and Odessa Permian down 14-0 to rivals Cooper. Another district team.
Oof.
Okay. Well, when your offense is built around one player, Chuck, and that player gets hurt, what are you going to do? You have no other players to back it up, blah, blah, blah. And if you lose 2 district games in a row, which is unheard of, you're definitely done, blah, blah, blah. So they're just going off on him right then. And then right then they give the ball to the backup running back, and he busts up the middle, and he busts it right outside, and he's going, and then just gets clothesline. Whack right around his neck, right? Gets knocked completely out. He's out the game. Backup running back's gone. Give me a running back. God damn it, Gary Gates. Give me a running back. Come on. Comer. Waterbug.
Oh, geez.
They go, Comer, third stringer. He comes into the game, and he runs in off the sidelines, right? And then they hand him the ball first play, and he just runs out of bounds immediately, scared. And the assistant coach is going off on him. God damn it, Comer. You're so soft. You're so soft. Why are you so scared? I'm not, coach. There wasn't no blocking. No blocking? You didn't even try. You're such a fucking coward. You know what I mean? Going off of him, right? And then they cut to the next play where the water bug is in, right? And he's in, and he's nervous. And he's like, you see him looking around, he's nervous. And then Winchell drops back, right? And he's just blocking. He's trying to block for him. And he kind of gets thrown off of him. And then Winchell ducks the guy, and he ducks the guy. And then he dodges it, and he kind of just tosses it like that to Waterbug. And then Waterbug catches it, makes the guy miss. He breaks around the 20. Waterbug to the 30. Oh my God, Waterbug to the 30, to the 40. Look at the speed on this kid. And his nigga is fast, all right? Down the sideline, people are diving and they're missing him. And then they go past the coaches, and I love this shot. So it's him flying past the coaches full speed, and the camera stays on the coach Gary Gaines, right? It stops right on him. And he looks at another coach and he goes, was that Comer? And the other coach was like, I think that was Comer. He goes, that was Comer. That was Comer. Comer for an 85-yard touchdown pass, the longest play in Permian history. Oh my God. Next play, Chavez. Interception, Chavez. Oh, Permian. And then they get the ball. They score again. Then the next play, Permian blocks a field goal, scores again.
Oh, wow.
They go on one of those quick little sprees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then right then shows Billingsley. He hand off to the fullback. He busts right, busts down the gut. One of the nastiest stiff arms you'll see, dude. This takes this guy's head and slams it on the dirt. He scores. 40-yard touchdown run. Now they're kicking ass.
Right.
They're kicking ass just from this Comer play.
Spark plug, man. That's sometimes all you need. All you need is a little spark plug.
Somebody
Yeah.
to get especially a good team. A team that already has all the tools. You just need one person
to like, we're still a team.
Yep.
That's what they needed.
That's what they needed.
Yeah.
And so then Comer scores again, and then the other coach goes, where the hell did this guy come from? Right? On the other team, right? So the next day it shows Comer walking through the hallways. He is the man at school. Waterbug. And he's just fucking beaming, dude.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know what
he's
I mean?
earned it.
Earn this.
Yeah.
He's a young sophomore. You know what I mean? He's just like, fuck yeah, dude.
It's great.
So the Booby right then is like, it cuts to a shot of Booby. He's on the phone at his house, and he's lying to college coaches saying, oh, I'm fine, coach. I'm telling you, coach, USC, I'm going to be fine. I'll be back soon. Oh, coach, I promise. Knee's okay. I'll be back soon. I promise. You know what I mean? So it cuts back to Comer, and he's walking through the hallways with swag, and the commentator's talking about him and how the team's looking good. And then it shows the team, and they start kicking ass. All right. And Comer is killing. He is now like a star.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And he's getting interviewed by people now, you know what I mean? And they're asking if they're going to take down Midland Lee. And the radio says, well, they might have a chance, man, the way they're rolling, blah, blah, blah. We're looking like Midland Lee's the real deal, but we're looking good. And then they win another game, and now they're like 5-1.
Yeah.
All right? They're looking great. They're kicking ass, and Comer's becoming like a name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but then the guy even says, but if they lose again, they are done, and they win another game, right? So, Booby's going to the hospital in Midland. So it's at Midland Lee Hospital, right? Best hospital in Texas. That's what the uncle is telling Lou. He's like, this is why we're here. This is the best hospital in Texas. If we have any shot, this is going to be it. All right. So he's getting his MRI, and he's going through the thing. And then he goes out, and the doctor tells him, he's talking to him as he's working on his zine. He's telling him how his son played for Midland Lee. And, and now he's at Penn. He's like, he's even giving a compliment to, you're such an athlete, no athlete like you, though, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, your son plays for Joe Paterno? He's like, oh, no, University of Penn. He played football there, went to be an MD. Penn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Ivy School.
Ivy League.
Shout out Danny Ritt. I had a homie that went there to play ball as well.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Great play. Great. One of the best tight ends and the cat safeties ever seen. I mean, just, dude, you know what I mean? Amazing. Bad white boy. So, there's debates about him. Bad white boy. So he gets, he gets his uncle, he's showing his uncle the scan of the MRI, right? Like he tells Booby to get dressed and he's like, hey, let me talk to you. He shows his uncle the scan of the MRI, right? And he's showing him his ACL. He's telling him, he's like, I got some concerns about what he's going to be able to do now for his future and blah, blah, blah. And then Booby walks over and goes, hey, man, when can I suit up? And he goes, Booby, how can I explain this? Well, the reason you're great, the reason you're so good is because you can run and you can cut and you can hammer people like that. Your cuts are what make you so great. He goes, now because of your knee and what happened, you won't be able to do that anymore. And then he goes, what does that mean? And he goes, you just won't be able to play like how you think you can play. And he goes, that's not what Dr. Spencer said. Booby starts going off. Dr. Spencer said 3 weeks. 3 weeks is up. It's been 3 weeks. He said 3 more weeks after it's been 3 weeks. I'm ready to play. What do you mean? And the doctor's like, well, no, I understand. No, it's been 3 weeks. He said 3 weeks. Booby, you can tell he's just like, no, that's 3 weeks. I'm ready to play. Let's go. You know what I mean? And he's like, listen, you got to understand. But again, you can't play. And Booby's like, what do you mean I can't play? I can't play. I'm ready to play. My team needs me. He goes, listen, I just want what's best for you. No, you want what's best for me. You from Midland, right? You're from Midland, huh? You jealous. You just jealous of me because you from Midland. You jealous because you from Midland. Who paying you? He starts crying. Who paying you? You're trying to take my football career? And he starts breaking shit. Huh? You trying to take my fucking football career, man? Huh? And his uncle grabs him and he has to get him out of the hospital, right? Bro, shit gets real. I know, dog. That scene hurt me. And that scene makes me tear up, dude. Because it's just like, and there was like, oh, an asshole. It's like, nah, bro.
Nah, he's not.
That's his life. This is the nigga that ran to practice when everybody else drove. Y'all don't understand.
He's also 17.
17, and think about the mentality.
His career, his future.
He ran to practice when everyone drove. Yeah. Football was, like you said, that was what he breathed. This kind of guy, especially when and he was for real. Every scholarship offer in the world, he had them all. He had every scholarship offer, all of them. 5-star athlete, top of the line running back.
Done.
So yeah, I get acting like that.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like, I'm the one that worked double hard. That's what hurts. When you're like, I'm the one that worked.
Yeah, no one was working as hard as me.
I mean, he didn't lift weights that day. But I mean, everybody has but it's like, oh, if he lifted weights that day, he had made it, got hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, unlucky.
So, he's screaming, right? So, October 28th, 1988, Odessa Permian versus Midland Lee.
Oh,
rivals.
the game.
District, the game. All right? This game is packed and it is huge, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Stands are crazy. And they go, earlier today, Cooper beat Woodland. So now, that sets up Odessa Permian perfectly because all they got to do is win this game. They are in the playoffs. But if they lose, they are in an unheard of 3-way tie for the district title, which will have to be broken with a coin toss.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So, Booby and his uncle are talking to the coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the team's already getting ready, blah, blah, blah. And they're lying and they're saying his knee is fine. Okay? And then Booby's like, I'm fine, I'm ready to play. And then he looks at the uncle, he goes, you okay with this? And LV's like, you tell he's nervous, but he's like, 100%. And he's like, all right, go get dressed, Booby. Booby runs out and goes get dressed, right? So right then Permian runs out, and then in Midland runs out. And they run outside, out the paper and shit.
Right.
The crowds are going crazy. And then it's rival game, so the energy is crazy on this game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just you can feel it's packed stadium. It's nuts. Texas, hot, best of the best football. So Booby comes out the tunnel. Crowd goes nuts. The cops, oh my God, there he is, Booby Miles. And then you see the Midland coaches, and they're all like, all right. They look nervous, like, okay. And then the commentator goes, decoy or player, because Midland Lee doesn't think he's gonna play. Game starts. First play, Comer gets smashed, rocked, right? Then the next play, Winchell gets picked, and Midland scores. Already, boom, just like that. Okay. So coach says, all right, shake it off. It's all right. And then right then, Booby's like, come on, coach, let me spin. You want to win? Put Booby in, coach. You know what to do. And coach kind of looks at him. He's all right. And then Winchell goes out and he throws it to Billingsley, who catches it and then fumbles. All right. The guy fumbles and then the guy scoops it up and Billingsley grabs him by his face mask and slams him down and then gets face mask and a because it's like, and then the coach takes him out the game, benches him for a while, and goes off on him. So Midland scores again right before the half.
14-0.
Yeah, 14-0. So cuts to them in the locker room. You think you're playing football? Do you think you're playing football? You are showing me nothing. Do you understand me? You think you got it made? Huh? Because you are about to watch Midland Lee take your season. All right. Cut to kickoffs happening, right? And they still getting stuffed. And Booby keeps asking, come on, coach. Put me in, coach. Come on, coach. Put me in. 5 minutes to play. Midland Lee still up 14-7 in the fourth quarter. All right. They keep getting stuffed. Coach Gaines keeps staring at him. He gets sacked again. Comer gets stuffed again. Midland Lee celebrating. Booby, you're in. Crowd goes crazy. Booby runs out. Let's go. Ah! Crowd goes nuts. The other coaches are like, all right. Midland Lee coaches looking nervous, right? Their crowd's going absolutely fucking pandemonium.
Bad idea.
So the fans come in and they go 37 stretch on one. Good to have you back, baby. Boom. They line up. They go left. Hand him off the ball. He tries to cut on that knee. Immediately goes, gets smashed. Right? Gets up real slow. Okay? Whew. They run another play. They run one more. Sweep right.
Can't do
All
it.
right? He tries to jump over a guy tackling him, and then he gets smashed again. Just screaming. Just a camera right on him. Shows pan to the crowd. Everybody's just like this, still sitting, heads down, and then the uncle's just up. Just broken. You know what I mean? So the crowd is just devastated, and then right then they carry him off the field, and then they go, we may have unfortunately seen Booby Miles in his last time in a Permian uniform. You know what I mean? And then the coach, Gary Gaines, is looking at him, and he looks at another coach and goes, he's done forever. Like he didn't say done forever, but he goes, he's done. And the coach goes, what? He goes, he's done. All right, let's go. 1:35 left. The music goes, gets really intense, and then right then they hand the ball off. Comer has a great run. They get the first down. They have a little life. And then the commentator's like, oh my God, all right, they have a little life. Here they go. And then another pass on the sideline. Boom, he gets drilled. Then another pass. He rolls out and Winchell completes it. 25 seconds left. Then Comer has another great run to get him down the field. 16 seconds left. And then they're like, oh my God, there's only a little bit left. This is for the ball game right here, folks. If he gets it off, 4, 3, 2, he calls it. Boom, bad snap. It's a bad snap. Winchell, he picks it up. Clock goes out. He runs right. He rolls left. He picks up. He throws the ball. Slow motion. Winchell's open. Payne is open. And it's too tall. It's too tall. Midland Lee wins the game. Midland Lee wins the game. Winchell just drops down. Falls. Ball was open. A little too tall. Couldn't,
Just like
not
a
tall,
hair too
like not the receiver's fault kind of tall. Not like, oh, he could just like you didn't give him a chance. Like you barely did. Like you almost, he could at least got a one hand if you'd have been a little lower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's too tall. Too tall. It was too tall. Billingsley drops down, right? So right then the coach walks off and it shows him walking off in slow-mo and he's taking his headset, pan to the scoreboard, 14-7, right? Locker room is completely quiet. Everybody's just sitting there. It's completely quiet. You hear pans over Winchell's crying. And I mean crying. And he's slamming his back of his head onto the wall. And then fucking Chavez comes over and he holds him and he's like, I'm sorry. And the team's looking at him. He's like, I'm so sorry, guys. Bro, come on, right? Just champion, man. That mentality. So I'm apologizing to his team, bawling like a baby. You know what I'm saying? So right then,
So they're out of the playoffs for good, huh?
well,
Or is there like those weird tiebreaker things?
remember I told you earlier.
Yeah.
This
they're
is
in a three-way
this
tie.
Unheard, this really happened. This all true. This is the unheard. It was just unheard of. All the teams beat each other the same way.
Right. Okay.
So it was like, well, fuck. You know what I mean? So
It means the top 3 team each beat one of the other teams and lost to the other team.
yep, you already know.
Yeah. Okay.
So coach he's walking out the stadium and everyone's just talking shit to him. All the fans. Go, oh, you suck, coach. Oh, fuck you, Gaines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You suck, Gaines. Oh, you know what it is. Dog. You look at that face, but yeah, oh, dude. And he goes and he just gives his wife a kiss. That's all he does. And then he gets in the car, right?
Jesus, the star player leaves and they had a chance for the chance. They had a chance.
to play against hurt. Yeah, I mean,
it's not the coach's fault.
Him getting hurt was his fault.
Yeah,
Him getting hurt was his fault all
That's
day.
the point.
I'll blame that on him.
Yeah.
But
Why
no.
didn't they put the second stringer back in? Why'd you put the first guy in?
I mean, you're just not thinking he's gonna get hurt. It's just fuck. You know what I mean? You're just not
It's
thinking.
football. No one gets hurt.
Dude. You know, so the radio, they're listening to the radio now, and it says how there's going to be a 3-way coin toss between the teams, and they're going over how that's going to decide 5A Texas football and how that's bullshit and blah blah blah. Right? They're just all the commentators are upset, right? And then so the fans are going off. They're calling in and going off on the radio how much Coach Gaines sucks, and then how blah blah blah. So Billingsley, he's driving home with his dad, and he's listening, right? Mm-hmm. And Winchell's driving home with the coach, and they're listening together. And bro, Winchell is having to sit there and listen to grown men call in. It's a great shot about, man, that Winchell sucks, man. Can't complete a goddamn pass. And Winchell's just sitting there in the car. Just like, oh, dude, the toughness to have to sit there and listen. It's like, bro, this nigga was
17 years old, dude. That's wild.
So, they're gonna tell him how much he sucks and blah blah blah, right? And then they even the guy at one point goes like, I think they're doing too much goddamn learning in the schools too, not doing enough football. Yeah, it was really funny. So it cuts back to Billingsley's car with Tim McGraw, right? And the dad's laying down in the backseat drinking, and he goes, my daddy used to take a bullwhip, tie 13 knots in it, and he would beat me in my gut until I got a sick feeling in my stomach. And that's how I feel when I watch you play football. I need some fresh air. Boom! Smashes a window out of his son's car.
Jesus.
And it's like, Dad, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Oh, got to get some fresh air. Get this sickness out my stomach. And he goes, and he goes, you haven't learned how to play football. And I take that as a personal feeling. Bam! Smashes another window. Dad, what the hell is wrong with you, man? He's just crying, right? And then, he leans up in his ear. He goes, I was supposed to make a man out of you. And then he holds up his state ring to his face, right? And he goes, and he's like, just calm down, Dad. Just calm down, Dad. Like this, right? And he goes, can you touch that? Huh? And he holds it to his skin. He keeps rubbing it. He goes, huh? Can you touch that? Hell with it. He takes his ring off and he throws it out the window. And then Billingsley goes, Dad, what the hell are you doing? Swerve and gets out the car, and he's young and he's trying to find it, just searching through all the tall grass. He's trying to find it, and his dad gets out and he just lays down in the car, drunk, right? And he goes, you drunk bastard! What the hell's wrong with you? And he's searching. And then it cuts to, as he's searching, right? It cuts to back and forth now, back to Winchell and the coach. They're driving. And Winchell's saying, hey, coach, you ever feel cursed? And then you see him searching, right? And it's just, you see them, but you hear the Winchell conversation as you see him searching through the grass for the ring. It's like, you ever feel cursed? Like something's over your head. Like, you got a witch or something following you and just something ain't right. And you can't beat it, And then Billingsley cuts back to Billingsley screaming at his dad, why are you like this? Why are you like this, man? What's wrong with you? And it cuts back to the coach and his answer. And he goes, let me tell you something, son. It took me a long time to realize ain't too much difference between winning and losing other than how the outside world treats you. But on the inside, it feels the same. He goes, only curse we have is self-imposed. We dig our own holes. And it cuts back to Tim McGraw, and he's just laying on the hood, just drinking. And Billingsley walks back at the car, and he just stands there. He's looking at him for a while, and he just goes, what's wrong with you? Right? Cut to a news reporter outside of a truck stop. Okay? And he goes, this truck stop will serve as the host to the coin toss, sending 2 teams to the state playoffs and the other one home. All right? So the teams are all watching together at someone's house, okay? They're all watching together. They're all sitting there, they're all nervous, And then the guy goes, when I give the word, we will toss the coins. We got Coach Doug from Abilene. He has a silver dollar, 1950-something silver dollar. We got he goes, and then.
So what is it? Is it if it's 2 of the same go on? So
yeah.
If it's 2 tails, 1 head, the 2 tails go on?
Yeah. Whoever has the one off. Yeah. So Coach Gaines has a 69 nickel for Odessa Permian. And the Midland League has, just a basic quarter, And he looks at Mike Winchell and he goes, all right, coaches. And he looks at Mike and he goes, ain't no curses. Toss him. And then just a million. I love this. Just a million flashes of the coins coming up and down, right? And it looks like real pictures of what it really,
Right.
And so, Winchell, he looks down And the Midland League coach goes, "That's mine right there." And then Winchell goes, he sees it, and he goes, "It's a heads." And they go, "Oh, that's a heads for Midland League." And then they walk up to another one. And then the coach goes, looks like that one's right there. And then he's, "Oh, that one's mine." And they go, "Oh, and that's another heads for Abilene Cooper. That's another heads." And then Coach Gaines looks all nervous. And then right then they go, "Well, there's mine over there, Coach Gaines." And he walks up to it slow. And then another guy goes to reach for it. He goes, "Don't touch it. Don't touch it." He walks up to it. And then it cuts to, I love it, it cuts to Mike Winchell's mom watching. And I love this because she goes, "Come on, Gaines." Like he has anything.
Yeah.
Right? And then he walks up and he goes, "It's heads." And everyone breathes. "Ooh, it's heads. Oh my God. Oh my God." And they go, "Well, that figures."
Retoss.
Yep. They goes, "Well, that figures. The way these teams played this year, it makes sense that it will be more than one coin toss." And then right then they go, "Hey, hold on here, fellas." And they go, look at Cooper's coin here again. And they go, "That look like tails to you?" And then right then they go, "Oh, I don't know. This coin's really old." And then we got some discrepancy on the coins here. And then they go and they look and they go, the Cooper coach is like, it's tails. Ah! Everybody starts celebrating. And then the Permian team, they're all celebrating, watching the news, and they go, "And that's it. Permian and Midland Lee are going to the state playoffs." Ah, And so they go, that's good news for both these teams. But still, at the end of the day, all roads lead to Dallas Carter. And then they show this other team, Dallas Carter, who's from another part of Texas, right? And they go,
Dallas probably, if I had to guess.
Yeah. And they go, now Dallas Carter, I don't know if you know this, there's a documentary on Netflix about this high school team.
Oh, really?
There's so many, so many great NFL players and beyond great
What's it called?
D1 players. Dallas Carter.
Oh, really? Wow.
The documentary, it's a great documentary about it. It's called Carter High.
Okay.
It's amazing. You know what I mean? So, unstoppable, which is true. This team had 9 D1 players on it.
Jesus
9
Christ.
D1 players on a team. Okay.
Jesus.
So, and then they're watching them, and then Comer's they're showing highlights of Dallas Carter on the news, and then Comer's like, "Damn, they're undefeated, right? For a long time, undefeated. They haven't lost years.
Yeah.
Like, damn, this team is big, So
just size advantage. The size of
they're
9
huge.
D1 players is nuts.
yeah. So at Billingsley's house the next morning, right? It's quiet, and Tim McGraw comes in, and he goes, "I'm gonna get your car fixed today." Billingsley doesn't say anything, and then Tim McGraw goes, "I don't want this to sound like no apology or nothing, but I didn't mean half that shit I said." And then Billingsley's like, "I know, Dad." And then,
Great apology.
come on, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, "You don't understand, son. This is all you'll ever have. It carries you forever." And then Billingsley just starts crying. He's trying not to look at his dad. He's like, "That's an ugly fact of life. And it's the only fact of life. You got 1 year to make yourself, son, and this is it. After that, there's nothing. And I'll be damned if I let you miss it." And then he puts his ring on the table. And then Billingsley looks at him, and he found the ring from last night, puts it on the table, and he's leaving, and then the dad just kind of looks at it. All right. So Boobie is at home on the stoop, and he's at home, and he sees a garbage man pull up, and the garbage man get the trash, and he's staring intensely at him, and he's kind of nervous. He's breathing heavy. The next scene, he goes to he's in his locker room before practice. The other players are starting to come in, and then the coaches are watching from the offices, they can see in the locker room, and they're looking sadly. They're all just kind of like this, and he's cleaning out his locker. All right. So Waterbug's watching him. Waterbug looks heartbroken. You know what I mean? Which I love. That is how you you could just that as another player, just like, damn, that sucks, man. And then he's like, "What's up, Waterbug?" And he's like, "Oh, what's up, Boobie?" And he's cleaning it out, and all the other players come up and they're watching, and he's putting his Terminator X towel in his pants, And then he's like, everybody's now all the rest of the players are just looking at him quietly. And then he turns and he's like, "Waterbug." He's like, "Playoffs belong to you, man." And he's like, "Thanks, man." And he's like, "I'll make you proud." He's like, "Hell yeah." And he looks at it, he's like, "What y'all looking at? Play your ass off. Win state. Be perfect." All that shit. And then he grabs his nameplate and he slides it out of his locker, and then he hands it to Billingsley. He's like, "This is going to be worth a lot of money one day." And then Billingsley's like, "I bet it will." And then he smiles. And he's like, and then right then he's like, "You be perfect, preacher man." That's preacher. Preacher doesn't smile or anything. And then he leaves, right? So he walks out to his car. This scene,
Yeah, I know this scene.
because we've done if you follow us at all on Instagram, we've done a sketch about this scene that I'm about to do. And if you follow this podcast and you haven't seen it, don't worry, we'll post it just for you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So It's so funny that you don't know anything about this movie, but
I
you
know
know what
what you're
happens right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, not only know what happens when he had to shoot it, so he knows
Exactly.
He knows it
how
by
it's
word.
shot.
You
I know how far the window is down.
know that there's a
Yeah.
train whistle in the
Yeah,
background.
I know there's a train.
You do know how far was the window down, Bob? Tell him.
It's like right. It's like, so if this is the whole window, it's like right up to his face, like halfway through his face. Yeah.
Real director, guys.
Yeah.
He knows what he does. So, he walks out to the car. I forget what we're doing. So,
Yeah.
he walks to the car and he gets in and it's quiet. And do you want to tell the scene?
And then he gets in his car, and then he just starts bawling, right? Just starts bawling, and he's like, "You told me to be okay, and this is all I know." And he's just having like, man, I don't know. He just doesn't know what to do with the rest of his life. He's just like, and his uncle's like, "Oh, come on, it's okay." His uncle's just trying to console him and doesn't know what to say. He's a really good uncle.
Yeah, he's really good uncle.
He has a great father.
Besides
figure
letting
in
him
his
play.
life. I mean,
But I mean, then again, I mean, he wasn't gonna be able to stop him. Booby was gonna do it regardless.
yeah.
But he should have told the coach. He should have told the coach, "Don't play him.
Yeah.
Don't play him."
Yeah, but you know, he's heartbroken. Yeah, I think he's just so heartbroken.
He's
But he's just
heartbroken.
crying, and then it's just it ends in the scene. It goes back, and you can just hear him crying from.
And then you hear another train whistle.
Yeah. You hear him crying from far away.
That's right. And then Dave Apicarian walks by.
Yes.
So he walks out to his car and immediately, you're right. You're 100% right about
Yeah.
this. Just starts bawling. Now what we gonna do? I can't do nothing else but play football. I can't do nothing else. Oh, he goes, don't worry about it. He goes, no, don't worry about it. What you mean I can't do nothing else but play football? We practice and we practice. You said we were gonna go to the pro. And now what do I do about my knee? And then he grabs him, and then beautiful pan. You're right, beautiful pan back, and you just hear him crying, and it fucks you up, man. It's an intense shot. Beautiful pan back. Just great job. And then it pans because it's like a pan back at first, and then it's a double pan back of even which I love, of even farther shot.
Yeah.
Which we nailed, by the way.
Yeah.
When you see the sketch, you're like, oh wow, they did that. So, and then you see as the camera, I love on the double pan back, you see all the other players showing up to practice, and then they're just walking by this car as Booby's just crying, screaming, crying. It's heartbreaking, man. So right then, rock music kicks in heavy. Da-da-da, da-da-da. It's playoff time in Texas. And and then there's just school, and it's showing them walking down the school hallways, and the school is hype as shit. Everybody has their painted faces, logos on, you know what I mean, ready to go. And then they show like the Texas and like all the cities that are in the playoffs, like a few times, and then and then it zooms into like a bracket for like the football. You know what I mean? And they're like, here we go. You win, you go on, lose,
Go home.
play, but nope.
Oh.
Start playing basketball.
Oh.
A lot of these guys play basketball.
That's fair.
It's high school, you know what I mean? So which is very true. I remember that, how like guys couldn't start like basketball practice would start, but if you play football, those guys would miss that. And then when baseball, like when spring football season would be going on, and the guys who played baseball, they couldn't do spring football.
That's fun.
You know what I mean?
That's
Because
funny. But
whatever
spring
sport.
football is not as big as the fall football, right?
No. Spring football is just a way. It's where you're allowed only to practice in pads for certain parts of the year.
Okay.
To keep people from getting hurt and to keep people
Yeah.
stable, right?
Yeah.
So there's a part in the spring where they allow, and this is all team, they allow you to practice in pads for about 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
So some people get a couple 2-a-days in. You get and you get as many
So
practice.
spring football is just practice.
Oh, it's all practice. It's all practice, and spring football is where you earn starting jobs.
Okay.
That's how you earn a job. Is in
Okay.
spring football. All right. So.
That makes sense.
All right, so they show game one, and Winchell's having has the first great game, just throwing passes. They win round one easy. They beat the shit out of somebody on Winchell's arm, right? Mm-hmm. Then they show the Dallas Carter team, and they destroy their first game too. Then they show Comer in the second game. He has a great game in the second game, great monster performance, and they dominate. And they don't hugely win, but they win the second game, right? Yeah. Then Dallas Carter demolishes another shows, and it's showing the highlights of each game. All right, they demolish a team, and then it shows Chavez. Chavez and Comer have a great third game. Chavez has a great game. Odivas has a couple picks and one for a touchdown. You know what I mean? Comer has a touchdown, and then they win that game dominantly as well. They make it to the semi. Oh, dude, you got to win a lot to make 5A state Texas football. That's a lot. You got to win probably like 4 or 5 games to win a state title.
Jesus.
Yeah. So,
fourth game, semifinals. They're against.
Yeah, fourth game semifinals.
They're against the team that beat them.
And no one even challenges the other team. The other team just washes through everybody, right? So Winchell has another great game, right? And they barely win, but they make it to state. He throws like a game-winning pass, and they make it to the state finals and the semifinals.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, they don't play the rivals again, huh? That would have been a very
No, they didn't have to play the rivals.
Okay.
Yeah.
The rivals just
So
lost. Somehow.
rivals just lost somebody.
All right.
So and they bat, and then so now they're gonna battle. They're gonna battle the great Dallas Carter for the Texas 5A state title. All right. So it shows the coaches, and they're meeting at an airport. All right. And they're discussing where the game will be held. And there's a lot of tension because the Dallas Carter, everybody's black. Odessa, everybody's white. All right. So a lot of tension in the room. This is 1988. Okay. So.
You said 1988 like it wouldn't be
yesterday.
the same now.
I could have been like, this is.
Oh, if this takes place tomorrow, you'd be like, oh shit, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. A lot of tension between the blacks and the whites tomorrow.
Definitely.
Yeah.
They're discussing where it's going to be held. And then they're talking about, well, our school's permanently black, your school's permanently white, blah, blah, blah. And they're bickering where to play and how the fans are going to cooperate. We're going to need extra security. And then right then, Gary Gaines goes, well, let's just go with a neutral site. And then they start naming sites. He's like, well, how about the Astrodome? Okay. Astrodome is huge.
Yes.
Okay.
It's pretty neutral.
So the other coach goes, I got no problem with that. That's big enough. And they go, all right, well, let's talk officials. And then I love this. And then Gary Gaines goes, well, let's just get a random zebra crew out of San Antonio so that way it's neutral. And then the coach for Dallas Carter goes, well, are these zebras going to be black or white? And then Gary Gaines goes, well, as far as I know, zebras are black and white. And then he goes, well, how many black stripes does zebra got? Well, I figure this zebra's got the same amount of black ones as it does white ones. Right? You tell Gary's getting like, man, like what the, like, bro, what? Let's just, all right. I'm not trying to cheat you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so they argue more, and then and then the Odessa guy gets a little lippy, not racist, but just like a little like one of the assistant coaches gets a little wordy, and then they start arguing and they leave. Okay. So right then they're leaving a Walmart. Gary Gaines, his wife, his daughter, they're leaving a Walmart. And then a bunch of boosters, two of the boosters that we've seen all movie, they stop him in like this really fancy car. They go, hey, coach, hey, how's everything going? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, how's everything? And they go, oh, well, everything's fine as long as, we win state. And then Gary Gaines is like, oh, yeah, I hope so. I hope we will. And he goes, but that Dallas Carter, though, they're a really good team. They're a tough team. And then the guy in the booster goes, oh, we're a pretty tough team too, coach. He goes, that we are. So, why don't you just go beat him? And Gary kind of looks at him because he's like, or what? He goes, or what? Well, that would just be a bad deal for you, Gary.
This guy has won state championships before, right? Jesus.
So, no. He hadn't. I think he was a new coach.
Okay.
I think he was a new coach. But this team
Has
had
a
won
state championship.
recently, had like not too far. Like Dallas Carter had been winning a lot, but not too long before this, they had won some state titles. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So they're a known team to win state titles.
Okay.
They're supposed to win state titles. So, Boobie might have won one in his like freshman year or some shit, or sophomore year, I think, if I remember correct. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So they won maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So they're fresh off one.
Okay.
So, where were they? You just got threatened, right?
Yeah. You just got the boosters.
Yeah, so they go,
Fucking
that would be a
bitch-ass
bad
boosters.
deal for you, Gary. He goes, so let's just get it done and get that title. And then Gary looks at him and goes, well, because his daughter's right there. He goes, well, I sure appreciate the support, fellas. And then they drive off, and the wife goes, well, that was subtle. And then the little daughter goes, are we moving again? And then the mom goes, no. And he goes, it's possible. So he's watching film on Dallas Carter at home, right? And his wife, and he's just watching it, and he's studying. This is Gary Gaines, and he's just taking all these notes. And the wife comes in, and she goes, what you think about Alaska? He goes, what about it? She goes, I think we should live there. I bet they aren't that serious about football. And he's still writing stuff down, and she starts talking about how great Alaska could be. And then she's going to just stay there for a couple years or 20 and just have a good time. And she's watching the film now with him, too, and she goes, honey, these boys are big. He goes, yeah, they sure are. They sure are. Cut to the entire town now. It's closed up. Every sign, going to state. I love it. Going to state. All right. So the teams are waiting outside the bus, right? The Dallas Carter, not Dallas, Odessa. They're all waiting outside the bus.
Right.
And the bus says headed to the Astrodome, right? Police escort, the whole thing. So they're loading up the bus, and as they're doing, one last car pulls up, and it's Boobie. And his uncle drops him off, and he has crutches, and he crutches up to the coach, and he goes, you got room for one more? Absolutely. Get on in here. Hop on. He's like, thanks, coach. And then they hop on, and then everybody gets on, they take off, right? Police escort, you know what I'm saying? All these cars, all the dads, everybody just following. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, dude,
Yeah.
mile long.
Jesus.
Miles and miles and miles of cars. You know what I mean? Just going. They're all headed. Okay. So the music is intense as shit, you know? And then you see all the boys on the bus and they're all just kind of like either eyes closed or they're just, you know what I mean? Just in that fucking game zone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So right here, this is possibly my favorite part of the movie, right? This is, as a football player, this is all you think about, bro. So you hear a dope ass guitar riff kicking. Da-da-da. And now this song also, I used to actually listen to this particular song before all the games. This song is called New Noise by the band Refused. Okay? It's a great song. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. And you see the Astrodome, right? Okay? Houston Astrodome. Odessa Permian versus Dallas Carter. State championship. Okay? So you see Winchell and Billingsley. They're dressed up, full padded up. They're walking down this long tunnel, right? Leading the team. You know, game face, motherfucking serious as shit. You hear the commentator, the guitar riff, it's still going. You know what I'm saying? And then you hear, man, the commentator, this is what these players have dreamed of this moment since they were kids. This is all, which is so true, man. Yeah. This is all they think about, winning a state title, playing for a state title. And then it's just, and then it's like this, it's just like, it's like them running out of the tunnel. And then they start kind of jogging. So now you see like the tunnel, and now you see like the camera's been following them this whole, and it's getting intense, the music's getting louder. And now you see like the end of the tunnel, right? And then they come out, bro, and the music starts, bro. Just fucking 55,000 people. And then you see Winchell, and he looks up, and then he goes, like just, bro, and just everything you want in that emotion of just, you know, music kicking in, you know what I mean? And then they run out and they bust through the paper, their team's going crazy, and then Dallas Carter comes out, walks through the paper. You know what I mean? Nobody's running, helmets off, just looking at the other team. Huge. They also all look like 35 to 45-year-old convicts. They look like niggas that play in a league that's after the NFL. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
They're so old. All right.
Funny.
All hood as fuck, just hood niggas. All right. And they're staring each other down. All right. And their cheerleaders come out, and even they're like, the Dallas Carter cheerleaders are talking shit to the Odessa cheerleaders. Like, it's just intense. Okay.
Right.
So the Dallas Carter players are staring them down, just barking. Their whole team's just barking at Odessa. Just like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Intense as fuck, bro. And so they show that both teams have their own commentators. You know what I mean? Like, right. It's just it might as well be an NFL game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's huge. So, which is true. You know, these kind of games, Texas State Championship, this is how it really is, which is crazy.
That's nice.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, even when I went to our state, like they played it at a college stadium, and it was crazy. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. You know, I mean, not 55,000, but at least 3-4. I mean, it was crazy. You know what I mean? Just huge.
Right.
Huge. So,
the game's about to start.
Yeah, the game's about to start. So they're doing the coin toss, and then the Dallas Carter's talking shit. I'm in your ass all day, Mexican. You hear me, little Mexican? You two Goldilocks are talking Chavez and Billingsley. You know what I mean? Talking shit. And then the kickoff happens, right? Permian gets it. Waterbug gets it back at the end of the end zone. They go, oh, he's not going to take this out. And the other players tell him not to take it out. He takes it out. Gets smashed on like the 3-yard line.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow. You know what I mean? All right. So, and Chavez almost gets hurt for this first play, just because he gets rocked too, because he wasn't expecting him to take it out.
Right.
All right. So he's slow to get up. And then Michael, he's talking to the coach. Coach goes, Michael, keep your cool, all right? I need you to be a leader out there today. Be a leader, all right? And he tells him the first play. So Michael runs out, first play. He drops back. The music stops, right? As he drops back, you hear, and welcome to the Terror Dome. Bam! Sack, lunch, safety. First play.
Oof.
First play. Right?
Ooh.
And it just Public Enemy starts, welcome to the Terror Dome. Bam! You know what I mean? Right. Just cracked him. You know what I'm saying? So it's 2-0, just like that. Bam. Okay? Then the Dallas gets the ball, you know, and then they score, like second play, 50-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
50, you know, and then they go for 2, and then the commentator says that they've never kicked an extra point or a field goal all season. Or punted.
It's like,
all season.
oh, Jesus Christ.
Domination.
Yeah. How are they going to
Domination.
beat this team?
Okay.
Will they
So-
even beat this team? How do you beat this team?
So
With heart?
they have it. So they're now up. They score the 10 up now, right? So right then I love this. Coach Gaines, he comes up to Ivory, Preacher man. He goes, Preacher, what's happening out there, Ivory? What's going on? They big, cuts to him getting smashed. They fast, cuts to him trying to catch somebody down, right? They strong, and then it cuts to him just holding on to a guy, dragging a guy down. And the guy gets up and he goes, fun ride, huh, big boy? He dragged him for 6 yards. And he goes, Coach, they fast. You already said that one, Ivory. Oh. And he's just like, drink some more water, right?
Yeah.
Right then, Billingsley fumbles. They pick it up, you know what I mean? And he goes, you cannot fumble. This Coach Gaines against a team this good. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? Then they pass to the tight end who runs over Chavez. They score again, up 18-0.
Jesus.
And then their team is doing a full celebration in the end zone, all right? So the coach is yelling, telling Chavez to wake up. You got to keep them out the end zone, okay? Because if they score, they win. I don't know if you realize that. Wake the hell up. Chavez looks up. He's like he doesn't know what to do, right? Next play, Winchell gets sacked. Comer gets stuffed. Winchell gets stuffed again and again. And then they just talk about how Permian O-line is getting destroyed. And then he completes a pass, and then the receiver gets hit, and then another guy comes in with a crazy late hit. When you see it, you're going to be like, holy shit, dude. Flags all over the place. They're like, he's trying to kill him. He's trying to kill him. And then they're getting in each other's faces, and it's getting really crazy. They're just getting their asses beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So right then, he's yelling, you guys better get in the game. Wake up out there, Ivory. Let's go. You're a leader. So 5 minutes left in the first half. All right, it's 3rd and 1. Dallas Carter's lining up. Preacher's going, come on. Booby goes, come on, Preacher, let's go. Right then, they blitz from the outside. Preacher from the DN position now drops back. The Whitaker guy, the quarterback of DC, drops back, throws it. Preacher, interception.
Right.
Starts going down the sideline. Oh my God, Preacher! Preacher's headed to the promised land! Oh my God, the 50, the 45, the 30. And then another guy, boom, crackback block by Chavez. Oh my God! And he gets tackled on the 4. Their team starts going crazy. Ah! Yeah. The Dallas Carter fans are like, what the fuck is going on? Okay. Team's going nuts. So
the offense now has the ball at the 4. They still got to punch it in, which it seems like is no easy feat against this team.
So coach is like, hey, we have time to get in this game, but we got to do it now. We got to find each other, all right? You need each other, so find each other right now. So Winchell takes it out. He drops back, rolls right, can't go anywhere. Then he fucking spins. Then he barrels his way to the end zone, holds it out, and as he's holding it out, he gets his helmet ripped off, but gets it across the end zone at the last second as his helmet gets ripped off. You know what I mean?
Right.
Crowd goes crazy. The Dallas Carter's like, he didn't get in. Of course, Odessa's like, he got in. He's laying down trying to get his stuff together. There's a lot of pushing and shoving going on as this is happening. A Dallas Carter player walks up and kicks his helmet as hard as he can into Winchell's face. Pow! Busts his chin open.
Right.
All right? Just busts his chin open. And so, of course, now Coach Gaines is like, oh, my God, hey, did you see that? Did you see that? And then now it's a lot of pushing and shoving on. The commentators are like, wow, nobody noticed. Winchell just got a helmet kicked in his face. And he's just bleeding and trying to, cover his chin up. You know what I'm saying? And then nobody notices it. They break it up. And that's the end of the first half. You know what I'm saying? And that's the end of the first half, right? And it's 26. They trail 26-7.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay? And that's how the locker it goes with him. Quarterback with busted chin now.
Yeah, Jesus, 26-7.
They scored on the last play. They got the momentum at least.
Yeah. They got some. Yeah, they're not totally dead in the water right now.
Yeah. So, they're dead in the water. 26-7, you would think. If I'm watching somebody up 26-7, I'm like, depending on how the third quarter goes.
Yeah, but they're not dead in the water.
They're not. No, they're not.
Because
I've seen. Game. You're right. And I've seen many better
game.
comebacks than that.
Yeah.
But 26-7,
it's rough.
Woo!
That's rough.
So. In the locker room, Dallas Carter coaches are going the fuck off about what happened at that last drive.
Right.
About the interception, about them scoring, all that stuff. And then the Permian coaches are going off on the O-line about how they need to be better, blah, blah, blah. Preacher is walking around pissed. He's angry. He's pissed, right? So, and I love this. They keep, they're sewing up Mike's chin, right? But they're going up back and forth in between locker rooms. This whole scene.
Right.
This whole scene is back and forth, okay? So, right then, as the coaches, Permian coaches are going off on them. Preacher interrupts his own coach and he goes, "What the hell is wrong with y'all? Y'all playing like a bunch of little girls. You hear me? These guys are nothing." And then it cuts back to the Dallas Carter coach. He goes, "Do you hear me?" And then he goes back, and then it cuts back to Preacher. And he goes, "They bleed just like we do." Then back to Dallas Carter. "Yes, sir." Back to Preacher. "They sweat just like we do." Dallas Carter. "Yes, sir." "They have 2-a-days. We have 2-a-days in 110-degree heat." "Yes, sir." You know what I mean? The shots are so cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's just the team. Dallas Carter looking up while Preacher's going off on his team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And even though they're really getting yelled at too, so it's like, oh, I love how he did this. That was such a cool way to do this. And I remember the getting yelled at halftime, bro. Coaches ain't nothing to coach love to give you that halftime motherfucking getting your ass speech.
That's funny.
It's like every coach's, I think, wet dream to it at night. It's like, oh, what am I gonna say at halftime? That halftime speech, yeah. Because also, if you can rile them up and get the win, then you get to nut to that later.
Right. That's fair.
So that is fair.
That's fair.
Oh God, Bill Belichick when he came back on Atlanta. Ooh, what did he say in that locker room at halftime?
Right?
Can only imagine. He's just every time he thinks about it. Because I mean, what a comeback, dude.
Yeah.
So right then, he's like, "Let's go right now. Let's go, Preacher." He's "Let's go." And then right then, Coach Gaines comes in and he goes, "All right, guys, get down on the knee." He goes, "Well," and he talked calm. I love this. He goes, "It's real simple. You got 2 quarters. That's it. Most of you have been playing 10 years, some longer than that. And you got 2 quarters, and most of you are never going to play again. That's just it, is what it is, you know?" He's like, "And I've been talking about being perfect for a long time. But being perfect to me isn't about the scoreboard. All right? It's not about winning. It's about your relationship with yourself, your family, and your friends. Being able to look back look at your friends with a clear eye and tell them you did everything you could and you gave all you had out there. And there was nothing else you could have done. And you can say that with clear eyes, love in your heart, with joy in your heart. If you can do that, well, you're perfect, gentlemen. You are perfect. All right, now take a moment, look around. Take a moment, look around. They're all looking around. I want you to put each other in your hearts forever. Because that's what's about to happen in a few minutes here, forever. All right, now close your eyes. They all close their eyes. And he looks over at Boobie, Coach Gaines, and he goes, "And I want y'all to think about Boobie Miles." And Boobie starts crying. He goes, "Who is your brother who would die to be out on that field with you guys tonight? And I want you to put that in your hearts. Because, boys, my heart is full. All right? My heart is full. Now let's go play. All right? Let's go play. Right? I love that speech. My heart is full. That's a speech of like, man, we're down. I'm not going to yell at you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do it because you love the game.
Yeah. Well, this is the right time not to not yell, I think.
That was the right speech, right? That was the right. I always thought that was the right speech. And I love also putting Boobie on everybody's mind of like, you know that this guy would fucking kill someone to play today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So right then they do a prayer, right? And they do the Our Father prayer. And it's a cut back and forth from both locker rooms of both teams doing the Our Father prayer. Great shot, you know? And so then it come out for the second half. Both teams are hyped. That rock music kicks in. You know what I mean? Shit talking is commenced. Both teams are talking shit. Music is crazy intense. And then they come out, and then the first play is a reverse from Dallas Carter. And Permian Ivory, Creature Man, lights this nigga. Wow! You know? Woo! And then everybody's like, whoa! And then you see the Dallas Carter players like, damn! You know what I'm saying? And they get up and it's like, oh shit! And then they just start playing, but it goes back and forth. Dallas Carter players are lighting Permanent up on offense too. You know what I mean? And it's like, whoa! Even the commentator's like, whoa! This third quarter is hard hitting football, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? And then Chavez blasts somebody out of bounds, and then their defense is playing great. And then right then the third quarter ends. Right? It's just a montage of just great defense all third quarter. And then both teams hold up the number 4. Fourth quarter, baby. Clock runs fourth quarter. Here we go. Dallas Carter still on top. 26-14. 26-14. Both teams played great defense in the third quarter. But what's going to happen in this fourth? Let's see. 10:25 left in the game. Carter drops back, throws a pass. Oh, and he's tackled. And it's 4th and 1. Well, Carter, they're going to go for it. They haven't punted all season. Here they go. Whitaker drops back, and he rolls left, and it bounces off the turf. But the ref calls it a catch. Whoa, looking back, that's crazy. You clearly see the ball bounce off the turf there. Well, the refs are going to have a meeting. And then I love this shot. It shows Gary Gaines, and it just cuts to right him going, well, I want to talk to who did see it. I want to talk to the ref who did see it. He's yelling at one of the refs, right? I love that it was right to that. Like, that's, who saw, who? You tell, I want to talk to him. You know what I mean? And then they're showing the replay, and it's like, oh, it clearly bounced off the turf. And then the refs are going around the circle, right? And all the white refs, did you see it? And one, my view was blocked. Did you see it? I was looking at the O-line. Did you see it? My view was blocked. Did you see it? I was looking at the D end over here. Are you sure he caught that football? And it's a black ref, and he goes, it was a catch, ref. Set him up, first down. What are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? Boo! Boo! And then I love the Dallas Carter coach. He has a sucker, and he's just like, like, hey, here's what it is, baby. You know, it's crazy how because I remember these when you're playing, and you know something happens, and you're like, oh, he definitely stepped out of bounds.
Yeah.
Like I was standing right there. I watched his foot go out of bounds, but touchdown, baby. That is how that feels, where you're like, ooh, got away with that one.
That's it's like the Rams guy who did the pass interference that wasn't called at the NFC Championship game.
Oh, against the Saints?
Yeah, against the Saints.
Get out of here.
Yeah, they asked him about it afterwards. He's like, damn right, that was pass interference.
I know how to play football, nigga. I hit the shit out that motherfucker.
Yeah, that wasn't legal at all.
Not only that, I cracked his skull. I did all kinds of illegal shit.
I should have lost that game.
I put some cocaine in his pants. Like, you know what I mean? I was doing all kinds of illegal
There's
shit.
another good story. Do you remember the catch 2 where Steve Young threw to Terrell Owens?
Yeah, I remember the catch.
Yeah. So right before that, this is the Jerry Rice fumbled it. And this is before they had instant replays, so they called it not a fumble. And before the Super Bowl, the coach for the Niners at that time was like, oh yeah, totally fumbled it. Sucks. Sucks. That's how it goes.
God, what a game. I love this
And then
game.
the next season, they had instant replay.
And football is now slower.
Well,
So-
at least it's not a better product. At least it's slower and somehow worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
At least it's
first-
slower and everything's a penalty.
every single fucking thing. And don't breathe on quarterback.
Yeah.
So instant replay shows it, right, bounces off the turf. The crowd is booing like crazy, other than the Dallas Carter fans. They're going nuts. And then the next play, a dude does a beautiful one-hand snag in the end zone.
Right.
Touchdown, Dallas Carter. Scores, one-hand snag in the end zone. Chavez comes over, crack, late hit in the end zone.
Right.
Penalty. You know what I mean? Chavez doesn't give a he walks, like they're going off on him, and he just walks off like, this game sucks. Fuck this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So now they're down 34-14, fourth quarter. They kick it off from the 50. Comer catches it literally at the back of the end zone. They do a fake reverse special play to Billingsley. Comer up to 50. Comer up to 45. Comer busts through to the 35. To the 20. To the 15. And to the 5. That's a mojo touchdown. Oh my God. Chris Comer keeps them alive in this game.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? Right? Crazy kick return to. Oh my God. When you see him, you're like, oh, this nigga is Comer Cole, bro.
This is based off a true story?
Yeah.
I think I've seen a video highlight of a Texas football team coming back from a crazy deficit like this.
So,
Anyway.
you sure it was Texas?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was definitely sure.
you sure it was the 80s?
Yes.
So, you sure it's something they make a movie about?
I mean, I'm sure they'd make a movie about that. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like,
And people are like, actually, no. Doesn't seem
yeah,
movie.
well, it's like what 30 something to 7.
34-14 before that kick
14,
return.
yeah.
Before that kick return,
Yeah.
it was 34-14.
And it's like a crazy deficit with a crazy little amount of time.
And a state title game.
Yeah. In the Astrodome.
34-14.
Yeah.
So,
So it's the 34-21 now.
34-21 now, right?
Yeah.
And so right then, Dallas Carter's on offense, and they do a sweep right, and it's stripped by Chavez. Oh my God, Chavez with the strip. And the next play, sweep to Billingsley. He takes it all the way down, and then he's looking. He takes it like all the way down to the 1, right? And then Winchell. He right then. So they get to Chavez, right? And then Billingsley goes in there and he goes, strong right, 81, Trojan horse. All right, let's shock these punks. All right, throw it. I'm going to be there, baby. Throw it deep. On one, ready, break. Sweep right to Billingsley. There's room to run. Oh, wait a minute. He turns. He's looking to throw it. Oh, he throws it. Winchell's open. Slow-mo, Winchell's down the field. Diving catch.
Oh.
Touchdown, Mojo again. Can you believe it?
Oh,
Can you
good
coming back?
God.
Dude, they're coming back.
God.
He gets up, he like catches this one of those diving catches, he rolls up and then like, like that. You know what I mean?
Philly special, baby.
Come on, baby.
Yeah.
So Permian, now their fans are going nuts. I mean, the stadium, you can feel it, dude,
Losing
in
it.
the movie. Just, So, but is it too little, too late for the Permian Panthers? All right, this the commentator says. Because the defense, I mean, they're going to have to step up, John. They're going to have to make a stop here. And then they drive. Dallas Carter gets a first. And then another first. Clock is ticking. You know what I mean? One more Carter first down, and that's the game, guys. They don't have the timeouts to use to, it'll be it. And then right then, Preacher blasts a guy, right? So they have a huge loss. And then then they have a huge loss. And then it shows the Dallas Carter coach, and he's like, I will say this. They know how to tackle. All right, run at him again. They run again. Boom, stuff him again. Then another sack for 3rd and long, right? And then Carter runs up the gut, and the guy almost gets the first down. Stopped at the short. All right, they measure it. 1 inch short, baby. 4th and inches. Cardinal signals. This is that coach. I love cocky with the sucker in his mouth. We don't punt. All right. I respect. We haven't done it all season. Because that's one of those things like if you do something like that, you fuck it up, because you just don't do it, and then you fuck it up and lose your game anyway.
You gotta play your game.
You gotta play your game. And I love a coach who's like, I'm gonna play my game. I respect that. Andy Reid.
Andy Reid has no end of the game plan though. That's Andy Reid. There's no.
Well, because you either gotta make it, either adjust or stick with your game plan. Don't just go every time.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I mean, come on, right? We've talked about this. Andy Reid, we're not gonna get. This isn't gonna be about you. Not tonight, Andy Reid.
Not this episode.
Not this episode. We're gonna go back to episode 27. Jesus Christ, just call it Andy Reid and the movie Philadelphia. All right.
Andy Reid is AIDS. All right.
Dude, that's so mean because it's true. Oh, Mahomes. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Great game, buddy.
Yeah,
God, great game.
Hopefully you find a coach that can get you through the end.
Ooh, God, great team, too. Eric Berry. Oh, God, what a team.
Yeah.
Great game, guys. You guys played unbelievable football. Tom Brady, huh?
Yeah. Tom Brady. Not only did he do the AFC Championship well, he also did that thing in the Super Bowl we're all talking about right now.
Yep, that Super Bowl thing that he did. Oh, my God, I forgot that he did that.
Yeah.
God, I love you, Tom.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah. Maybe.
Goff, great job also.
Yeah. And the first
Maybe.
one for you, possibly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Gurley.
Yeah, game. Super Bowl.
Michelle, everybody did good. He's good, dude.
Yeah,
White.
yeah.
They're all, I like the 300 back there. God, all right, we're gonna get back to this.
Yeah, we're almost there. I feel it.
So, where were we, buddy? Hold on, help me out a little bit. Last thing I said to you.
Fuck. They can tackle.
Run their own offense.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah,
that's how
fourth
we
down.
got.
They
Like,
keep
how do we
running.
get to the 4th and 1? They're going for it. 4th and inches. Okay.
Yeah.
So they line up. Preacher's talking shit. You know what I mean? And then they go. The Dallas Carter calls a timeout. So they go to the side, and Coach Gain calls a Texas stunt. And he's like, Ivory, let's shut these cocky sons of guns down, Ivory. This is on you. You got it. They line up. Preacher keeps talking shit as he lines up. This is Texas football, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And then right then the hand it off to the running back. Preacher lights this nigga up, takes him 5 yards back. Oh my God, Permian stops him. Permian's ball. They have a shot. So, Mike, it's Coach Gaines. Mike, show him who we are. He has 1:40, 1 timeout to go 75 yards down the field and score to win a state title. Can he do it?
What's the score?
Uh,
But it's touchdown to win, right? Not touchdown to tie.
touchdown to win.
Touchdown to win. Okay.
Touchdown to win.
Okay.
So 140, get all the way down the field, 1 timeout, 75 yards.
Right.
Hut swings it to a corner for a gain, right? Small game, but they go out of bounds. Then Billingsley has a good run, gets the first down, stops the clock, goes out of bounds. All right. Winchell completes another pass for a first. Then he drops back and goes to another receiver, catches it for then he goes deep to a receiver. The guy's wide open. The guy catches it for a second. Then he gets blasted by a safety who makes a great Dallas Carter guy, makes a great play. You see the guy come all the way across the field, blasts him, the guy drops it, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, not like drops it. He just
gets
perfect.
rocked.
Great defensive play.
Yeah.
Great reaction play by the defender. You know what I mean? So,
So second down or third down?
so right then Winchell gets. But on that play, so it's now third down. So Winchell. On that play, though, Winchell got the air knocked out of him, right? So and it takes him a long time to get up. And then everybody on the side like, we need you, Mike. We need you, Mike. Come on. And then he gets in the huddle, and bro, this almost made me tear up. He can barely speak, and he goes, all right, double right. left twins. And then another player goes, Mike, you all right? yeah, I'm all right. All right. And then he calls through it, bro. You know what I mean? Just like, it got me just like, oh, dude, I love this guy. Just fuck it. I'm going to win this goddamn game, bro. I don't give a shit if I can't breathe.
Yeah.
So 52 seconds. Winchell drops back, throws a deep ball again, gets absolutely smashed by a guy, even harder than the last play. Guy makes a great catch, and then spins off a guy and takes it even farther down the field. Okay, so right then the Dallas Carter goes, the Carter coach, I'm seeing fear right now. Show me some heart, God damn it. You know what I mean? So right then, Billingsley runs, gets another first down, crate run, right? But he gets hurt. Clock stops, and he's grabbing his shoulder. So they carry him off the field. Billingsley dislocated his shoulder. He's out. All right. Next play, Comer runs. Busts one down to the left, but he gets blasted too. Gets up slow, walks to the wrong sideline. So now he walks to the Dallas Carter sideline. He now has to come out for a play. He's fucked up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's third down. Third down. He drops back. He gets sacked. They have to burn their final timeout. Okay? Fourth and long now, baby.
The drama.
Come on, baby. It's football. Texas 5A state title, baby. That's what it's about.
The drama.
So Carter coach says how the Carter coaches are talking. They got to defend the pass. They're saying how they're going to do a prevent defense, all this stuff, right? Because they got to do a third and long. They have no choice. It's not enough time.
Right.
So Coach Gaines
Draw play.
calling for a running back.
Yeah.
Give me a running back. They all are hurt. Comer's he's fucked up. They show Billingsley, he's on the table. They say they're going to pop his arm back in place. 1, 2, do it on 2. Ah! And they go, he's good, coach. Billingsley, you good? Ah! I love it, dog. What an answer. You know what I mean? That's a yes. Are you good? Of course I'm not good, but let's fucking go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, just screaming. You know, oh, God, I love Billingsley. Just screaming, right? So he goes, he tells him, he's like, he like, the Dallas Carter coach is full prevent coverage, blah, blah, blah. And then coach looks over at Billingsley and he's like, we're going to run something ISO. Can you do it? Can you hang on to the ball, Billingsley? Yes, sir. All right, we're going to go right wiggle, 34 switch, ice blade. Right wiggle, 34 switchblade ISO. Right wiggle, 34 switchblade ISO. And then right then Booby goes, hey, Billingsley, they're going to try to strip the ball. They're going to do everything they can to get that ball from you. Cover the points. Roll with it. Don't roll against it. Just keep your feet moving and roll with the points. You got this. You can do this, dog. All right? This is yours, baby. Billingsley's like, all right. And then they run out on the field, right? And then he goes, all right, man. He goes, all right, man, we got Iraq, 34 wiggle, 34 switchblade for the state title. All right, I love all you guys. Baby. Just keep moving your feet, man. Just keep moving your feet. Don't think about that shoulder, baby. Let's go. Break on 1. They come out. All right, that's it. 55,000 people in the Astrodome, and every seat is empty because everyone is on their feet.
Well, are they on the field?
There's like 16 seconds left, and they're like maybe less than 20 yards in. They're like maybe 14, 15 yards in. Zone. Yeah, they're in the red zone. Oh, they're in the red zone. Okay. I'm trying to think how close. Maybe 14, maybe 12 to 15.
Okay.
All right? Okay. But they need, it's third and long.
Yeah, third or fourth?
Fourth and long.
Fourth and
long. Okay. All right?
Not fourth and goal, but fourth and long?
Fourth and long.
Okay.
But a couple, 16 seconds left.
Okay.
Or like 15 seconds, something like that. Okay. They have no timeouts.
Okay.
So, just keep moving your feet. So the announcer says that. So they walk up in slow-mo, right? To the line. Billingsley's looking hurt. Green 12. Right? And then right then it cuts to Coach Gaines and he goes, and he's looking at the other coach. I'm going to run it right down your throat. Hut! Hands off to Billingsley. Oh my God, hands off and Billingsley, boom, busts through the first tackle. Boom, busts through another guy. Spins right. Billingsley looking like Larry Zonka on the field. Boom, bro, this nigga gets hit. Boom, spins off. Stays up with the one hand. You know what I mean? Keeps going, boom, drags 3-4 guys to the 1 yard line. Stops the clock. First down, Panthers. Billingsley! He shows his dad. That's our boy! You know what I mean? Yeah. And then it shows Coach Gaines and he's like, the camera pans up. Holding. Offense. Number 72, that's a holding call. Oh my God, holding. Oh my God, this is going to be 4th and long. Winchell, it's going to be 4th and long, and the clock will resume with the start of the play. Oh my God, they got a linebacker up on the ball. Clock's going to resume as soon as this ball is placed. Winchell screaming out, everybody, 34, something's on my ISO, cheetah. Say something, cheetah. And right there, 3 seconds left. 2, hot, 1. He drops back. Slow-mo. Avoids a sack. rolls right, lets a defender fucking like jump over him downfield, right? Like he stops and like ducks, and the defender jumps over him, right? And then he stops, takes off downfield, does a spin move, makes one guy miss. Winchell down to the 5, gets hit, poof, he stopped. His O-line pushes him. He gets pushed. Everybody's pushing. Oh my God, they're jumping up, Permian celebrating, and he's short. He's short. That's the ball game. Dallas Carter, state title champions. You're 5A Texas State title champions. Mike Winchell short. And then they show the ball. Everybody gets off. He's 1 yard short. He's short. He is short. And then that's it. Shows Winchell and the coach, and everything's in slow-mo, right? And then Winchell just starts crying. It cuts the sound. All the Dallas Carter players are running on the field. They're celebrating.
Oh, man.
They're all dropped down. All the Permian players are down. Winchell just drops to his knees. He's just crying. Just crying. You know what I mean? Billingsley's laying down. He's crying. Chavez is looking off. Preacher's just looking off. You know what I mean? Carter celebrating like crazy. Chavez finally comes up and he grabs Mike and he's holding him as he's crying. And he's just, I'm sorry again. I'm sorry, you know? And then the coach who was hard on Waterbug, because Waterbug's sitting in the middle of the field crying. Remember the coach who was hard on him? He comes up and he holds him. That's a nice moment. You know what I mean? Just like, because Waterbug came so far, you know? Yeah. And then Gaines looks up at his wife, and his wife just blows a kiss at him. He blows one back. And then right then Billingsley's dad walks up and he grabs his son and he grabs his head. Right, and then they touch heads, and then Billingsley's just crying, and then his dad takes off his state ring and then puts his state ring on his son.
Yeah, at least there's a good moment.
And then they just hug and they're bawling. You know what I mean? And then cuts to the team, pan out shot as they pray midfield, and they're just holding each other, right? Mm-hmm. Slow pan out. Okay. So, cut to Boobie's rolling up to his house. Next scene, right? And he's got a Christmas tree on his hood, and it's kind of snowing. And he's saying hey to his uncle, you know, and he's removing the tree. And then it cuts to Coach Gaines, and he's looking at the depth chart. And he starts taking names of all the seniors off. Ooh. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it shows the seniors, and they're all walking out the locker room. And then in words, right across the screen, it shows Brian Chavez. Brian Chavez graduated from Harvard and is now a criminal lawyer in Odessa. All right? Shows Billingsley. Billingsley graduated from East Central University. He sells insurance in Dallas now and is still close with his father. All right. Ivory Christian was the only senior to receive a D1 football scholarship. He now works as an Odessa long-haul truck driver. Boobie Miles played football in JUCO. He lives in Mohannes, Texas, or something like that, with his twins. His beloved Uncle LV died in 1998 at the age of 54. Mike Winchell played football his freshman year at Baylor University, but he is now now he is a surveyor living in North Texas. All right. So it cuts to them, and now they're all at their cars, and they're watching these young kids play football outside of the stadium, right? Young kids, like, you know, kids that were like running with Boobie and shit. Right. And they're looking at him, and then Chavez goes, "Man, I'm gonna miss the heat." And then Billingsley looks up and he goes, "I'm gonna miss the lights." And then y'all look up and they go, "Yeah, me too." And Chavez gets in his car. He goes, "Stay low, boys, and just keep moving your feet." And then he gets out and he drives off. They're like, "Later, Chavo. You be perfect, Chavo. Be perfect." He's like, "You guys be perfect." And then they laugh and they drive off. And he's like, "See you, Mike. See you, Don. Later, Chavo." And they all leave, right? Then it shows Coach Gaines, and he's replacing all their names on the depth chart with like all the new up-and-coming guys, right? Right. And then he gets to Mike Winchell, the last name, and he holds it for a while, and he's just looking at it. And then he drops that one too, finally, like in the bucket of senior names. And then right then Mike looks at, you know, he's looking at the stadium, and then he looks at the kids, and he goes, "Hey!" And they all look at him. And then he has a ball, and he fucking just chunks it as high as he can. Throws it up. And then he's smiling, and then it goes up in slow-mo, and then finally it comes down, and then like all the kids jump, and then one kid with a Boobie jersey on like goes way up over everybody, and he gets it, and he's like, he's celebrating, and Mike's kind of smiling, and then he gets in his car, and then Coach Gaines, he takes one final look at the roster, and he goes, and then he walks away. The next year, Gary Gaines led Chris Comer and the Permian Panthers to an undefeated season and the Texas 5A state championship. Friday Night Lights.
That was an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, buddy?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
How you feel, man?
That's so intense.
Right?
That's so intense.
I love this movie. I love football. This movie nailed it.
You ever watch the show?
Never watched the show, but I've only heard great things.
The show was good.
Have you watched it?
No.
Okay, I've never heard anyone go, "Oh, it sucked." Everyone always goes, "Oh, dude, it's really good."
Yeah.
So I want even because Sam's watched the show and she was like, she's never seen the movie, but she wasn't here today.
Yeah.
But she was like, "Oh my god, the show is amazing. You got to watch the show." So I was like, "Oh, maybe I should watch the show." I mean, I love this movie so much. I'm sure, and they say the show nails it as well, like the football aspect of it. So,
right.
but this movie, man, I mean, as far as football movies go, best football movie ever, and then and in my perspective, top 5, one of my favorite movies of all time, no questions asked. Up there with Toy Story and fucking Dark Knight, nigga. The Departed. This is one of the best movies ever. If I could pick an island, 5 movies, this movie's coming with me. I love this movie. It gives me those feels, gave me those chills watching it today. You know what I mean? Love it.
All right. Well, now I gotta watch it. Friday Night Lights, everybody.